this is a long-time ticket tradition. If it's time for ticket stock or for a long-time summer bash, now what we call summer chill, coming up on June 21st at the Granada Theater. About 2 months ahead of time, Jeff Catlin will come to me. Somehow Gordo got out of these things, and I think what happened was we used to produce them up here with a guy named Mr. Dew, who no longer works here. And somehow with these studio equipment we have up here, it's not as easy to pull off some of these promotional songs as it used to be. And we outsource it. I have a friend who has basically built a studio in his home, which, by the way, you would be surprised how much music that you listen to is produced right in somebody's home. Home studios around the country. From Billy and Phineas Eilish and what they bring you is basically in the home they grew up in. It's amazing. And my friend has just slowly done this over the years, and now he's built himself a really nice studio in his home. And I know of a lot of bands that have this and musicians who have this. Matt Boggs of the Prophets and Outlaws, he has an incredible studio. In fact, there's some audio magazine that said it's the home studio of the year. It is so nice. But anyway, so we will outsource this, and I will go over to Cabin Cuts Productions. And this is a unusual experience for me because it's an assignment, needs to get done. That's the bottom line. Cat wants it done, so we get it done. Once it's done, we usually debut it here on this show, and for whatever reason, we didn't debut it. And I think that's what we're going to do from here on out, because by not debuting it, I haven't received the hate mail, the hate email, the hate tweets. Usually these are songs that are kind of borderline whip songs anyway. Either you kind of like them,
George Dunham on Twitter,
or maybe it's a decent song that you once liked, but you hear it so many times on our promotional announcements that everyone takes it out on me, which is fine. But I got to tell you, this has been rolling now for 2 weeks, and I haven't had one, hey, you suck, this song sucks, please make it stop, my ears are bleeding. No negative reaction yet.
Until now.
We're about to play it.
About it.
Yeah, we're talking about it. We're about to play it. But the reason we're about to play it is, for me, it was one of those songs that it's from the 70s. You can roll the original by Seals and Crofts. This is from 1972, Summer Breeze. They're from Texas, by the way. I didn't realize that.
Huh.
That Jim Seals and Dash Crofts were born in Texas.
Then they did all those puppet shows later, right?
See, that was really confusing as a kid when I heard about Seals and Crofts.
And then what was the other one? Sid and Marty Crofts.
Yeah. That always confused me. Are these the guys that do that weird puppet show, too? And I don't know. This song's just been... It reminds me of the 70s. Makes me think of summers in the 70s. And I think I liked this song as a kid. But when I heard this was the song, I was like, oh my gosh, we are going to hear so many complaints about this song. But then with my buddy Shay Taylor, who has a home studio, we started listening to the song, and we both, and he likes country, but he also likes rock. He's not a yacht rock guy, and I guess I'm not either. And yet, the more yacht rock I hear, and some song is identified as yacht rock, I think, yeah, that's a good song. And I listen to this song, and it's really well constructed. It's interesting, and it's a good song. And as I found out, and we're about to hear, it's a lot more complicated than I thought, too, including the B section, which took a good 30 minutes just to get a rough cut of that and make it all the way through. I don't know. Does this song ring any sort of memory with you guys?
Oh, yeah.
Did you like it as a kid? Did you like it?
I loved it.
Yeah.
Especially in the summer.
Yeah. It's a cool summer song.
I didn't even know this song until, because this is the second time we've used it for Summer Bash.
Is it?
Yeah, don't you remember? I sang the original one as Rhines and Grego, I think. Come out and see me and see Rhines.
Oh, that's right.
Remember that?
I forgot all about
Summer
that.
Bash.
Yeah, that was back in the days where
that was forever ago.
Mr. Do, yeah.
But yeah, that was the first time I heard it. Was when I recorded it for that, because I guess
you're a little young.
Maybe I was a little
for
too young for
it
when it first came out.
Yeah,
and the song really beat me.
Yeah,
but in listening to it, it is fairly complicated,
Yeah,
and unusual.
Yes,
that I can at least appreciate. Okay, it's not just 1, 4, 5, and then maybe a minor chord thrown in. It's kind of. Yeah. It's almost like a song from a musical or something. It's got a few different parts to it.
It's really interesting. And sometimes Shay and I will he can play any instrument, and we'll put together a track. We just did the karaoke to it. Turn it up a little bit. I think we're about to go to this crazy B section here. Oh. Yeah, I know that. I know. Okay, that's the end of the song. We talked over the B section. You'll hear it here.
Any of those songs that sound like they're 70s from Echo Canyon, California, that time period, especially if you've seen those documentaries. I love all that stuff.
I'm pretty much in on it, too.
And some of it's pretty kitschy and I don't know, maybe a little too 70s, but I still love all that stuff.
Yeah.
The yacht rock stuff.
Yes. And that song is really 70s. This is early 70s. Okay, so if you haven't, I'm sure if you're a P1, you've heard it. It's an earworm maybe with you already. Sorry. But here is our attempt from Cabin Cut Productions. Wait, stop it for a second. Does it kind of remind you of the beginning of the MASH theme?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I was about to say, that's Suicide is Painless, which is the name of the song.
Indeed.
The MASH theme.
Yes, okay. We're back.
Meet the P1s hanging at Granada in the evening on a Friday night. Goofing around on the round tables, let us know everything's alright. Summer chill makes us feel fine. Chilling with the P1s a good time. Summer chill, don't it feel nice? Have a cold beer or some wine.
Shay saved me on the high harmonies because this is at the very top of what I can attempt to sing.
The harmonies are one of the reasons I like this song a lot.
Yeah, it's got nice harmonies.
Lying on a sidewalk, little smoky from the house next door. So we walked down Lower Greenville, through the lobby and onto the floor. Summer chill makes us feel fine. Chilling with the P1s a good time.
Did Ribby do the first one?
Sounded like it. Maybe. Yeah.
Don't it feel nice? Have a cold beer or some wine.
Okay, and I don't know how much this gets played on the promo, but
Kick off the summer and chillin' with you. Time wasters dressed up, they play funny tunes. Y'all come here from a hard day's work, and you're waiting for us without a care in the world.
so bad. But man, that's better than the first 80 takes because it took forever to get through that. I wasn't familiar with it, and again, the song is a lot more complex than you think. That's very almost like a jazz progression that I could not even come close to.
I have a theory as to why this has not been complained about as much.
Okay.
Because they process the vocals so much, and there's compression on the whole thing, so it doesn't stand out. The vocals blend into the music a lot more than our normal productions, which have the vocals kind of high and kind of... They don't have any treatment on them. Like your vocals have been treated here.
But this is about how the last 6 have been done. At Shay's
but this thing is mixed much more. It's much less dynamic in there. And so it's not as harsh to the ear.
Yeah, I have a theory along those lines. I think you're right about that. Is it also just an easier song to listen to than a lot of the ones we use that are maybe a little
in your face,
a little more in your
background,
face,
right? And maybe
this is pleasant. I enjoy
this is easy listening background music.
Okay. Well, let's just keep that.
But I do think
keep the complaints to yourself.
I do also think you're right in that we didn't have a big event that invited criticism, which is the unveiling of the song.
Oh, okay. You're taking my time to listen to this song? Well, let me give you my thoughts on it.
It's about the Cold War, right?
It's about the Cold War, and email Tom Gribble if you have a complaint.
Thank you, Craig Miller. The Las Vegas Raiders, Max Crosby. You know who he is?
Yes.
He's a dude.
He has too many X's at the end of Max. Isn't it like Max with 3 or 4 X's?
It's 4.
X.
It's MAXX. Max. Which is short for Maxwell?
Huh.
Well, let's see what his full name is.
Traditionally, it's short for Maxwell. Yeah. But if his is MAXX, does his Maxwell have 2 X's in the middle of it?
He was born Max, MAXX, Robert Crosby.
Okay, so it's not short for Maxwell. He says he was on Jim Rome, great racket. And he said that while flying back against a game, after a game against Miami, the team saw a UFO.
Huh.
They look out and they see a UFO flying alongside them. He didn't state exactly when this happened, but he said he has no doubt in his mind that human beings are not alone on the Earth.
Great take.
He said, there definitely is alien life. There's not even a question. I don't want anyone to come after me, but that's public information. Oh, okay. Andre James, one of my teammates, our center on the team, he's all into UFOs and all types of different conspiracy theories. So me and him have that bond. In the locker room, we sit around talking about different conspiracy theories.
Oh, boy.
Relax.
We were literally on a flight back from Miami, and we saw a UFO with our own eyes. And that sounds crazy, but you can ask the pilots, anybody that was there. It was wild. I saw it, and they had no idea what it was. There was nothing on the radar, and it was like a big shining light going in and out.
How does he know there was nothing on the radar?
I don't know. See, that's the thing. We always just allow people to amp up things, add things in their storytelling, and then that gets part of the public record of, and then they didn't even see it on radar. Well, he just said it one time in this story, and so, how do we know?
Yeah.
How did he see the radar? Did he talk to the pilots afterwards? Do the pilots really have a full-blown radar system?
Maybe he heard later that it was not seen on radar. Maybe.
He heard later. Well, that's not exactly the same as it not showing up on radar. But anyway, he has this experience. And oddly enough, the guy who sees them is the guy who talks about them all the time. Just a coincidence.
Mm-hmm. By the way, I didn't know he was from Colleyville Heritage.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, big time.
I didn't know that either.
He's big time.
Oh, you
there.
knew that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's no way.
Mm-hmm. But my prediction, which I made just a couple years ago, within the next few years, our minds will be blown as to the stuff that comes out about UFOs and UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon is what we call them now.
Do you mean 10 to 15 years by a few, or 2 to 3?
Let's just say that those are the terms.
He's going to keep it wide open.
That it is being talked about by not everyone, but just about everyone. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm telling you, there has
been a lot more out there.
A lot more out there. The government's been a lot more seemingly forthcoming about it.
They're trying to get us.
They're priming us.
Wrap our mind around the idea because.
Yes. After denying everything, now all of a sudden they're saying, I don't know, I think there's something to it, and it's weird, and we've had a lot of cases, and which, as you may remember, that leads me to believe that if they're acknowledging this, it's a cover story for something else that they don't want us to know about. I don't know what that is. And this is me completely just...
turning into the Max Crosby
Yes,
here.
I have no... At least I'm acknowledging. I'm not saying, oh, well, it's settled fact that they're just covering for something else. It's just pure speculation on my part. But yeah, if the government is confirming this and trying to say, yeah, man, it seems really weird, and hey, keep looking at it. This is just so weird. Then it's like, okay, well, you really want our attention over here on this stuff, don't you? Why is that? The Harvey Oswald. So what do you think it will be when we find out? Will it be
the
actual
giant
extraterrestrial visitation? Will it be, I don't even know what the term would be, interplanet aliens? Like it's aliens that actually live here but have just been concealed from us for a long time. Will it be somehow interdimensional? Will it be multiverse? Will it be wormhole related? How is this happening?
I don't know the exact specifics of how they have gotten here, but I think it'll be door number 1. I think it will be
actual alien life forms
from another planet. Yes. And I think they've kept it from us for all these years. You know, it's the same thing with Bigfoot. Well, if Bigfoot exists, why haven't we ever caught one?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what people say with the UFOs. If they are visiting, well, then why don't we have any evidence that they're here? I think we do have that evidence. And I think that's what's going to come out. And the reason they've kept it from us is because we can't handle it.
They keep saying that, though. Why do they say that we can't handle it? Why wouldn't we be able to handle it?
Well, I think we are getting to a point where we can handle it because there have been enough sci-fi movies out there that have kind of softened it for everybody. I'm half kidding. But eventually it'll be either they think we can handle it or they can't keep it secret any longer.
Mm-hmm.
We can't handle anything. If you've said that there is life out there and we've been visited and somehow they have an explanation for it, and then, yes, this is their craft and this is what they look like, some will take that as, okay, this is the end, and
facts.
But the world goes crazy.
But I do think we go in stages where we can handle things. Like there was a time when human beings could not handle an eclipse. That freaked them out. We didn't understand what was happening when we had a solar eclipse. We thought the world was coming to an end. So we do progress in our intelligence where we are able to handle more things like this. If you had unveiled these alien spacecraft and alien bodies in the 50s, we could not have handled it. But today, I think we're more equipped to handle it.
Or are we less equipped in the sense of that we will find this, we will use this as an opportunity to further our divisions? Some people will praise the aliens and think that we need to embrace them. Other people will say we need to unify against them and fight them.
Yeah,
other people will say,
about.
you know, hey, these aren't even really aliens. This is the Biden administration's
Right.
PSYOP program that is doing this, and we'll just use it as just another opportunity to argue with people that we love arguing with already.
Yeah.
And divide us even further.
And that's over here. Think about what it will be internationally. What if the Russians come out and say, this is what's going on? Oh, that's just Russian propaganda, or vice versa.
Mm-hmm.
It has to
the
be a
aliens
country
make it
that
over.
everybody likes and respects, like Switzerland. They have to discover the aliens and show them to everybody.
Oh, we're going to believe Switzerland?
China.
Yeah, they're neutral on everything.
Those peas that won't get involved in any war, won't commit to the fight. God, we're the worst, aren't
Make
we?
up a quick narrative on anybody.
Seinfeld was right. People are the worst.
People are the worst. But I think that it's got to be that there. I personally feel, based on nothing, that these aliens, whoever they are, whatever this presence is, have been here for a long time.
Yes.
And they live here now. Like whatever this is, they're
Possible,
not
sure.
they're not traveling here each and every time.
Right.
They're here somehow and somewhere, whether it's under the ocean and they pop out and do all their crazy stuff, and they go back in. One of the big theories, of course, is that when did we start seeing the spike of all this alien activity? It was in the 40s when nuclear power started becoming a thing. And it does seem like there was the analysis that they did, and they found that most sightings are surrounding sites where there is nuclear weapons. And so the aliens
the testing in New Mexico, that's why they had so many sightings there. And
whoever these aliens are, they're very interested in monitoring or keeping a check on our ability to destroy the planet. And there was even the one famous report of, I think it was like 8 nuclear weapons, these guys who were manning the silos and everything, and they were going through tests, and the weapons kept shutting down. Every time they tried to arm them or do their tests, that some force kept shutting the thing off.
So they could be saving us from ourselves.
Right.
Why are they so interested in preserving our life?
It may not be our life, it may be our planet that they want to make sure, yes, that it is a resource for them, and they don't want us destroying it because we're just stupid chimps who are just battling each other with our big weapons.
Right.
This is where they come to get something they don't have on their planet, French fries or something like that.
The Rocky Mountains.
Or, also my big pet theory is that basically the creation narrative is right, that there was an actual intelligent designer and all the things that smart atheists make fun of. It's just not in the traditional God sense that we think of, but this is a place that is for soul making. It is an experiment in which an intelligent designer did seed this planet with life, and now we may just be code. It may all be a simulation in some sense, but at that point, simulation breaks down to me because it's indistinguishable from reality. If it is our reality, whether it's a simulation in their world or not, I don't know. But that, there is a God in the sense of there was a creator to this environment that we live in, and DNA is code, and they've released this code, and they're watching it and monitoring it, and we're going through simulations and running out how this planet responds.
I love that theory. Back to the aliens protecting us from ourselves. Why didn't they stop Nagasaki and Hiroshima? Were they not here yet? Or were they just here and they...
Or that was the thing that got their attention.
Yeah.
But they were just chilling, watching, some football or something at the time. They heard the explosion. Like, what the hell was that?
What?
Wow, they really will use
what
this.
Is this?
They'll
what is
use this on each other. We didn't think they would.
So, who knows? But anyway, it's now been confirmed by Max Crosby. So,
yeah.
You got that going for you.
Lead
scientist on the Las Vegas Raiders.
All right, Gordo, thank you. That is the Odex.
Gordo wanted me to let you know that he will go gay for pay going into this newscast.
Where do you come up with this stuff?
Okay.
That's what he said.
What does that even mean?
Gay.
You tell us.
No idea. It's the first I was hearing about it when you said that. Anyway, if we can move on to the news, Giorgio. Guilty. That's the verdict on Hunter Biden. He was convicted yesterday on all 3 felony charges related to the purchase of a handgun back in 2018. And on the form, you have to answer whether or not you're using illegal drugs or are addicted to drugs. And he said, "What am drugs?"
He was like me at the doctor's office on the alcohol question.
Right.
Not really.
He was lying to get more favorable conditions. And So he was pronounced guilty. He was staring straight ahead and showed little emotion when they read the verdict. I figured he would have just reached into his pocket and pulled out a crack pipe, just stuck it in his mouth, said, screw it. But he stared straight ahead, little emotion. Jury reads the verdict. Jill Biden wasn't there. She's been attending every day of this trial.
Yeah.
And she didn't make it back in time for them to read the verdict. She got there just a few minutes later because she was coming in all the way from France. Like 24 hours worth of traveling just to get there, and just missed it by a couple minutes. That's Hunter's stepmother, right?
Believe so.
Yes.
Yeah. Joe Biden, of course, didn't go to the trial, which is the right move, I think.
Yeah.
You want to support your son, but you're the president. You don't want to make it seem like you're there as a presence to intimidate the jury or affect the proceedings in any way. And I actually think Joe Biden has handled this right in saying, hey, I'm not going to pardon him just because he's my son.
Mm-hmm.
He's going through a legal procedure, and he's a grown-ass man who has to put up with the consequences of a jury verdict.
We're going to trust the judicial system.
Yes. So we trust the judicial system, and what do we get? Trump's guilty, and Hunter Biden's guilty.
Mm-hmm.
Rigged.
So, yeah, Hunter Biden ought to use the... Did he use the rigged defense, too? Saying that this is
That's terrible.
This is the worst. But he walked out of the courthouse holding hands with his stepmom, Dr. Jill Biden. She's no doctor.
Let's see her at a hospital.
What was the whole controversy over the doctor thing?
I don't know.
She's not a medical doctor, but she has a doctorate.
But
So
people
she
were
calls
acting
herself
really
doctor.
people were acting really confused by that. Maybe that were people just now finding out that not all people with doctor in front of their name means medical doctor?
This is America, so
seen-
I'm sure a lot of people, yes, we're just finding that out.
Right. That's breaking news to them that you can get a doctorate in something outside of medicine.
Because I had some people that were telling me, hey, did you hear? She's not even a real doctor. I'm like, well, I mean, she's a doctor. She's not a medical doctor. She's got a doctorate.
This is why we can't handle aliens.
Right. That's right.
My dad had a doctorate.
Yeah.
He was
Dr. Keith.
Dr. Keith, indeed.
Julius Erving has a doctorate.
That's right.
So here, my dad was the first guy that I know of in my entire family that went to college.
Wow.
Like, we were all from, working class people, right? And my dad goes to college, gets his doctorate, and, not only gets his bachelor's, but then also goes on to graduate school and eventually gets a doctorate. And then the next generation, I immediately barely finished high school. I went back to my roots. He had to be
you're
so
kicking
proud.
it old school.
So proud. But yes, Joe Biden did fly out to Delaware to meet with Hunter after the verdict and greet him there on the tarmac.
Tough break, man.
Hey, man, sorry about that whole guilty thing, man. That was wild stuff. That was, I won't say it publicly, but that was malarkey. You were found guilty of malarkey. Anyway, Hunter Biden's lawyers argued that he did not consider himself an addict when he answered that question when he bought the gun. And they tried to show how he was trying to turn his life around at the time, having completed a rehabilitation program. But the jury didn't buy that. And his legal trouble's not over yet because he's got a trial coming up in September in California on charges of failing to pay $1.4 million in taxes.
That's the one that I hear could land him in prison.
Yeah, now this one could land him in prison up to, what is he?
4 years, I think.
But they say it's unlikely,
Yeah.
first-time offender.
Right.
But the tax one you're saying?
Yeah. They say that's the one that's more likely to get him in prison. Would he be in Gin Pop?
I don't know. Now, so help me out here. Here I'm asking two other political idiots questions.
Hey.
So the Trump thing was the result of Biden's over-aggressive Department of Justice. Biden weaponizing the Department of Justice, even though the Trump thing was just state charges, right?
Right.
But this Hunter Biden one is actually the Department of Justice, right?
I believe so.
Yes.
So Biden is weaponizing the Department of Justice just against his own family.
Son.
Correct.
Yeah.
I'm so confused. I don't understand any of this anymore. I don't understand the narratives anymore. But anyway, guilty. So both of them, shouldn't we all take some solace in the fact that the justice system, I guess, has worked? Both of these guys were found guilty, and juries did not show favoritism towards one subject or another.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now that everybody's mad, we'll move on to other stories about other stuff. We'll talk about Giorgio's friend, Kevin Costner.
Oh, yeah. He was in town.
He made the rounds.
I have to admit, I'm a little confused by this story, too.
What, the key thing?
Speaking of narratives I don't understand.
I saw the video of this yesterday, and I think he didn't understand it.
Why is Kevin Costner being given the key to the city of Irving
It was
for
weird.
making Westerns? I mean, I guess that makes sense to Hunter Biden and Trump fans, but it doesn't to me. The city of Irving? Is he filming something in the city of Irving?
Do they have a studio over there where he's worked on these shows?
Maybe?
Are the studios at Las Colinas in Irving?
Yeah.
Is that where they're located?
Yeah. And I don't know if those shows are shot there.
I don't know. But he was presented a key to the city, which is a concept I don't understand to begin with.
I don't get that either. He seemed confused by it in his acceptance speech, and I understand that everybody was shocked that he was actually there to accept it.
Yeah, he shows up.
Why would they do that?
He was given the key to the city by, who can name the Irving mayor?
Oh.
He's a good P1.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Is he? I don't know if he is or not. Mayor Rick Stopfer.
Stopfer. Yeah, that's right.
Rick.
Oh, you know him as
Yeah.
Rick.
Yeah,
Mayor Rick. Yeah,
yeah.
you just know him as Mayor Rick. So, yeah, give him the key to the city. And Costner gets up there and says, I don't know why I'm here, but okay.
Thank you.
That was his whole speech.
Do you think that key goes in his office right next to his Oscar?
Maybe.
No. He probably lost it on the way back to his rental car in the parking lot.
Come
He
on.
As he's
or
trying to fumble with the ticket. Going, God, man, $10 parking for all day. I was only here for an hour.
or more likely, he on purpose left it in the rental car when he turned it in.
Gosh.
Man.
The honor was bestowed to recognize Costner's exceptional career and steadfast commitment to preserving and celebrating the captivating narratives of the American West.
Because when I think of the American West, I think of Irving.
Come on. Man, come on. They were
They
able
do
to
have
get
the
him out
horses
there.
out
I could
there.
get
It
it.
was a
if-
success.
I would get it if Fort Worth gave him the key. You know, in the stockyards.
Yeah.
But not Irving in front of a strip mall. Actually, it was in front of the.
It was in front of the
livestock
statues. Yeah.
statues.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see?
Costner's dedication to portraying compelling stories of American history has made lasting impact on audiences worldwide, and the presentation of the key to the city serves as a testament to his enduring influence and contributions to the art of storytelling.
You sound like Skittles.
Congratulations to Kevin and to the city of Irving. Worked out well for both of them.
I can't believe he didn't call you George while he was in town.
I know. I thought for sure we were going to hang just for a little bit.
Let's talk about breasts. Dang it, that's going to be a drop, isn't it? The Edmonton Oilers fan has been located. The one that flashed her up tops. That looked really nice.
I heard porn sites were making her offers.
Of course. That's what's called
Expecting
America.
the clown world that we live in.
How old do you think she is?
Ooh, I would have.
With that great set of up
She
tops.
looked to be about 38 or 40.
Damn, dude.
I'd say 35.
She's 34.
Pretty close.
Gosh.
Sorry, ma'am.
She says she wasn't doing it to promote an OnlyFans or anything like that. It was spur of the moment. She said she hadn't eaten much that day. Actually, her quote was pretty Canadian, and I didn't even understand it.
She hadn't eaten much that day, meaning she was lightheaded or out of her mind?
Well, she had been drinking as well. And
Okay.
had not had food really beforehand, so made her a little bit looser in the judgment area. She says, the handful of cheesies that I ate all day and the 8 Trulies I drank in the first period were definitely inspiring. Oh, yeah.
Oh, Trulies.
Oh, Trulies and cheesies.
What are cheesies?
I don't know.
Like Cheez-Its?
I don't know. Razor understood all that, but we don't. She said she tried to get it taken down after the video went viral. She complained to Twitter, and they took it down, and then the next day it just exploded, and it was everywhere. As to the question that we debated and that the rest of America and the world debated.
Real or not?
What? No, I was going to say... does she feel empowered? No. Yes, real or not. What do you think the answer was? She answered the question.
Based on what I saw, I'm going to say not.
I voted that they were real. You vote no. What did you say, George?
I've already heard.
Because you studied it.
I didn't study it.
Yeah, you did. You were blowing up pictures on your computer. Look at that, man. Look at that.
Never
that
said
right
that.
there, man.
Come
you see
over
the
here,
curve.
man.
Oh, you see the curve right
Never
there?
said
That's
any
real.
of that.
That's real.
No.
Fake.
Thank
The
you.
verdict is fake. You
Thank
are
you.
correct.
I think women with fakers are more likely to
Don't call
show
them
them.
fakers.
They're more likely to show them.
I agree with you. I think that there's something in their mind that thinks, well, this is not really me showing me, so I don't feel naked when I show these. I think they look good, and they're almost like a piece of clothing on me because they're not of my own body, so I can show them.
And they went out and they bought them, and so they want to show them off.
Yeah.
They like them.
Mm-hmm.
We like them.
I'm also a fan.
You know, I don't know that I've ever honked up on fake ones.
Wow, I was wondering that this morning.
Were you?
Okay,
Mark that down,
well,
George. Mark that down on your scorecard.
Hasn't? Okay.
Hasn't honked up on fake ones.
Jeez.
So congratulations to Kate, who is 34 and has some great fakers. Kevin Spacey was on Piers Morgan.
Uh-oh.
George, you've always supported Kevin Spacey.
I've always thought he was creepy and turned out to be right.
Let's listen to a little bit of the interview.
When you yourself, as you did a few minutes ago, you talk about bad behaviour that you committed. What do you mean by that? What's your idea of bad behaviour when you look back at what you were doing?
Pushing the boundaries.
In what way? I mean,
being too handsy, touching someone sexually,
groping people
in a way that I didn't know at the time they didn't want. Yeah.
Some people would say that is criminal. That if you grope people in a sexual way against their wishes, that is a crime.
I agree that the word grope is a very odd word. I personally, I have caressed people. I have been gentle with people. That is the way that I am. You're making a pass at someone. You don't want to be aggressive. You want to be gentle, and you want to see if they're going to respond positively. So I think the word itself is not a word that I associate with my experience.
But would you say all of that
so what do you
was
think of that?
consensual?
Wow. I don't think he really understands.
At least he's admitting that grope is an odd word.
Yes. Yes.
So he's confessing that grope is an odd word.
There's no way that's a word.
So when he's assaulted people, he's done it in a loving way.
Yes. Yeah. A gentle assault is what he's saying.
Yeah.
He's if he's guilty of.
Wow, he's tone deaf.
Marv Albert is 83.
Yeah.
Ticket's own.
Yeah, I just talked to him a couple months ago.
We did?
Yeah,
Well,
we had him on Fernando's last day. Remember Fernando's all-time hero?
Obviously.
Different
Thanks.
Fernando, but
Thanks
yes.
to Mark
months ago.
Followell for helping out with that.
Bun E. Carlos is 73.
Greatness.
Drummer for
Anybody
Cheap
who can
Trick.
smoke and play drums at the same time is pretty awesome.
My man Junior Brown is 72.
All right.
Country musician. Timothy Busfield is 67 from Field of Dreams and that show 30-something that was so popular for a while that I don't think I ever watched a moment of.
Watched it every week.
Did you really? Is it good?
I mean, it was okay.
You never hear people talking about it. You know, like people still go back and revisit The Sopranos and...
Yeah.
I thought 30-something was so depressing, and it was like, what was that one that just ended with Sterling K. Brown?
This Is Us?
This Is Us. That was a modern-day 30-something. Every time I tuned in, it was so depressing.
I tried to watch This Is Us a couple times and only made it through that first episode.
It wasn't bad.
Piano
It had its
music.
moments.
And
George was always promoting
It was fine.
Which, once again, I can never understand you.
What?
Because you're like, I can't watch Sanford and Son. It's too depressing.
I watched it every day as a kid. My only comment with that was that it was somewhat depressing, yeah.
But This Is Us.
They never made one sale. Not one. They never sold a thing.
Okay. Gosh. So
They were-
your comment
they were
on
doing
This Is
okay.
Us
Well,
is
my
that
comment
you have
on
a
us
problem with
when-
Sanford and Son.
Yeah, I don't know why it always has to get compared to another show. I can have different opinions about different shows.
Dave Franco is 39, the actor from 21 Jump Street, and Now You See Me. Mark Calcavecchia, 64. Wait, we just talked about him the other day.
You did. You came up and said that Mark Calcavecchia.
Oh, I said, yeah. Hey, George, did Mark Calcavecchia ever get a hold of you? Just out of the blue. I don't know why his name popped in my head. And here he is having a birthday.
Golfer. Good golfer.
Hideki Matsui is 50. Former Yankees off.
Yep.
And Drew Holiday is 34.
Oh, in town to play the
Yes.
Mavericks tonight.
Will he get a birthday victory or loss?
We'll find out. All right, Gordo, thanks. That's Muse. And big news in the world of competitive eating.
Okay, I stumbled on this event, and we would hear about people like Joey Chestnut, hot dog eating contest, and I, heard about it. Never really invested any time in it until about 10 years ago, 4th of July, with my family. One of my sons put it on ESPN, and here it was. And we saw this guy introducing the contestants, and it was absolutely hilarious. George Shea. We've had him on the show before. So ever since then, I think 2014 was the first year I started watching this. I look forward to it every July 4th. What are we going to do this year when Joey Chestnut, the 16-time champion, the man who once ate 76 hot dogs and buns in one sitting, is not there at Coney Island competing in the Nathan's Famous Hot Dog Eating Contest because we got a sponsorship problem? He's all about it. Joey Chestnut has taken on a sponsorship from Impossible Foods, a company that makes plant-based hot dogs. And because this is put on by Nathan's Famous Hot Dogs, they don't want him anywhere near it. And he is the guy. He is the Michael Jordan of hot dog eating. And George Shea along those lines says, though, this is why he won't be there. It's like Michael Jordan saying to Nike, I'm going to represent Adidas too. And they just
Michael Jordan now? Are you kidding me?
and they just can't have him doing that. So the over-the-top introductions will be there for the other contestants, but the big stop-down in 2-minute intro that I kind of live for on July 4th. I know we have a lot of other things to celebrate, like the life of this country and things like that, but I kind of live for that moment. We won't get that from George Shea talking about the great Joey Chestnut. I don't know how I can make it through July 4th without this.
Oh, are we playing audio?
Oh, no, we're about to. I
I'm sorry. I thought that was a
no. That wasn't a cue. No,
okay.
we're about to hear the greatness of George Shea.
Well, let me ask you this. you'll still have George Shea introducing the other competitors.
Yeah,
it won't be Joey.
is okay, and there's a few others here and there.
Although I just had the note in Scattershooting a couple weeks ago that Kobayashi has retired.
Yeah, so he hadn't been a part of it. Somehow he had been banned from.
Oh, okay.
From this one for a while. I don't follow all the stories, but
how's everybody getting banned from things?
I don't know. Well, this one is a sponsorship deal that makes some sense, I guess. And yeah, it's all about money. He can take. I guess this is kind of like Liv. He's taken just the money, but when it comes to the fact that the most famous hot dog eating contest is sponsored by Nathan's Famous Hot Dogs, you can't be wearing a plant-based shirt up there.
You know what? I have no problem with Joey Chestnut doing this. As much as he has abused his stomach,
he needs to shut it down.
Digestive system, if he's getting a big paycheck from this plant-based hot dog company, more power to him. Because he doesn't have to earn his money by shoving hot dogs down his throat as much. He can now, cash this big check. Good for him.
And let me be clear. Once it starts, the competition, I can't watch it. It is gross. The way they dunk the buns, they basically choke these hot dogs down. It is it is nasty, if not dangerous. No one that I know of has choked during the competition. But, then I'll tune back in towards the end of it to see, hey, is Joey going to hit 60 this year? Is he going to hit 70? He's incredible. So I guess it does open up the competition, and it's anybody's game. But we will miss this. Yeah, George Shea will be there. I guess he's also the chairman of the Eating Contest League.
Major League Eating.
Major League,
is what
MLE.
It's called.
Yeah, MLE.
Which is a really funny name. Major League Eating.
And apparently Chestnut he's a co-founder of the league too, so that's kind of unstable. But anyway, he'll make these introductions on July 4th, and we usually play this when we come back from summer vacation. I don't see us doing that this year, so we'll pre-play them before this year's competition that won't have Joey Chestnut a part of it. This is the big stop down at the end. He's already introduced everybody else. So let's go back to 2015, and this is what George Shea came up with for the great Joey Chestnut.
You know what this means? In a world of nothing, of barren hills and cracked earth and once proud oceans drained to sand, there will still be a monument to our existence. Bleached by the sun perhaps, and blunted by time, but everlasting. Because this man represents all that is eternal in the human experience. The courage to stand for a nation when all others fail or turn away. The strength to recognize the value of freedom and to accept its cost, no matter how great. Through the curtain of the aurora, a comet blazes to herald his arrival. And his victories shall be transcribed into every language known to history, including Klingon. The Bratwurst and pierogi and Hooters chicken wing eating champion of the world. 8-time Nathan's Famous Hot Dog eating champion of the world. The #1 eater in the world. I give you America itself. Joey Chestnut.
Boy, hit the post.
Hit the post and everything.
Well, the music really helps make it.
I give you America itself. What?
So overproduced, so overwritten, and yet, is there a better hype man in competition than George Shea?
No.
That is just amazing. All right, let's fast forward to 2022 and see what he has to say about Joey Chestnut.
There will be a day that is the end. The collapse of time and all that stood within it. A day of nothing, of no one, of nowhere. But that day is not today. Today we burn bright. Today we blind the earth with our desire. And while it is still ours, we will bend history to witness this moment, to witness this man. The humble consequence of carbon, the fleeting spray of life turned diamond by the sun, forever suspended in that instant, indifferent to the gods, for he does not envy their power. He will not plead their pardon. He will curse and spit and sneer and shout his name at the heavens. I am the shining arc of humanity. Yield to my dominion. And if we must compete for our place within existence, we submit as our champion, the champion of the world, of now and of always, of the air, of the fire, of the sea, of the land, of the free. Ladies and gentlemen, the Nathan's Famous 4th of July champion of the world, Joey Chestnut!
He needs to be doing boxing or the Super Bowl or
why is he doing
finals?
more events?
Why don't we have him here tonight?
He's better than Michael Buffer.
So much better.
Tyler just said he's very Michael Irvin, too.
Yeah.
A little bit,
yeah. No doubt. Was that the one where they were lifting him up on the cherry
Sure
picker?
was.
Yeah.
Took about 10 minutes to get him up and down.
Well, that's where we put our heroes. We put them, up on a pedestal. All right, so Joey Chestnut seems to think that he'll be coming back, that this will get settled at some point. Maybe not for this year, but at some point Nathan's famous hot dogs will let him come back and compete, even if he's wearing the jersey of another hot dog maker. But this could be last year in 2023 when he won again. This could be known as the last time George Shea ever got to introduce him on the 4th of July. Here's the 2023 introduction.
15,000 generations of humanity, yet we have evolved not at all. Bound like animals to the laws of physics, shamed before the universe. And in all of history, only one man has stood to say that he will dictate what is and is not possible in this world. I speak of this man. For he has broken reality, and all of time pours down around us now at once, simultaneous and endless, erasing cause and effect and opening all possibilities before us. And the ancient powers are subordinated to their own creation, and they smile at his achievement, and they say he shall live forever. For he does not do it for money, he does not do it for glory, he does it for his people, he does it for his country, he does it for freedom. And the gods shine down on us now, and the gods shine down on us still, because of him alone, because of him alone. The Nathan's Famous 4th of July champion of the world, Joey Chestnut!
Man, it can't happen. That can't be the last time we ever hear that last year. Maybe by next year they'll work all this out and he'll be back, but he's getting up there now. He's won it 16 times.
Yeah, how old is he?
40-something, I believe. But yeah, how old is his digestive tract?
Oh, my God. I was reading about after that competition, he says that for the rest of the day he sweats profusely and that everyone around him says that he smells like hot dogs and it takes him 2 days to feel normal again.
It's kind of like me when I ate all that etouffee. Remember how I was sweating?
Yeah.
I didn't think I was going to make it through the night.
And then right after that, you said you could run a 4-minute mile or something?
Yes, he did.
Well, I didn't think it was going to be that that pace. I thought we were closer to the hotel than we were. Yeah, Joey is right at 40. He's 40 years old.
Okay, that's about time for him to retire.
Yeah, I think so.
It's taking its toll.
It's not going to be the same on July 4th. I'll tune in just to hear Badlands. He always raps for Badlands. That's always pretty awesome, but nothing like the Joey Chestnut introductions.
Well, that is major news from Major League Eating here this morning on The Ticket. All right, 8:31. Coming up next, we're going to visit with an old friend of our show who says he's a relative of Joey Chestnut. But right now, we want to, on the heels of our Joey Chestnut discussion, the competitive eating great last segment, we want to bring in someone, an old friend of the show, who says he's a relative of Joey Chestnut. It's Ticket Wise guy Johnny Pants. Morning, Johnny.
Hey there. I'm the Ticket's Wise guy.
Haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, it has been a minute, hasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, they call me Johnny Pants because I threaten and insult people so hard they have to buy new pants.
Okay.
Plus, my real name is Johnny Pants.
Oh,
so
last
you see,
name,
people
Pants.
have multiple reasons for calling me Johnny Pants.
It seems like that second reason would be the main reason.
It's like Johnny Pants always says, don't forget the sports.
That's right. It's your catchphrase.
I hear you guys talking about my nephew, Joey Chestnut.
He's your nephew?
Yeah, he's my nephew, and they're being a little unfair to him, and I think they're going to learn a little lesson that you don't mess with the Chestnut Pants family. Don't be surprised if come 4th of July, all of Coney Island is a nuclear wasteland.
Oh,
well,
my
now.
gosh.
Courtesy of the red, white, and pants.
The red, white, and
Well,
pants.
that's quite a threat.
Look at Craig over there with his chair, and I bet his chair's like, who is this guy, you know?
That's not a great cut down.
You guys gonna watch the basketballs tonight?
Yeah, big game 3.
Maybe put a little action on the game, eh? Like guys do, right? Just guys out there hanging out, betting on games, giving each other a little hand tug every once in a while.
What?
You know, a little relief. It's the way guys are, right?
I don't know what you're
We're all
talking
the
about
same.
there, but okay.
A little sports advice in case you and any of your little buddies are in the betting mood on tonight's game.
Okay.
Take the Celtics and the points.
Really?
Okay.
I got the inside scoop that Luka ain't gonna make it through the whole game tonight.
Huh.
Whoa.
Okay.
Gonna leave with a mysterious injury. Just a little tip from Johnny Pants.
You mean he's point shaving?
Just a little tip. Just watch out for it.
Okay.
You know, I'm looking around here, and you two guys got a real nice little studio here.
wow.
Well, thanks.
Thank you.
Be a shame if
It's okay.
something happened to it.
Well, what is that threat for?
Be a shame if you guys came in tomorrow and the whole room was burned to a crisp.
Well, that
my
would be a
gosh.
shame.
Or worse, if it was like filled with last year's Christmas decorations and kind of smelled like light mildew or something. You know, that kind of moldy smell?
yeah.
There's
What you're
been
talking about, but
slight
yeah.
water damage that you hadn't taken care of.
The first
Be a real
threat
shame.
was more serious.
George,
do wrong?
oh yeah, you're laughing over there, huh, George?
Well, yeah.
George, you mess with me, you'll end up at the bottom of White Rock Creek with a garage door tied around your neck,
Garage
It's deep
door.
enough.
with like a Chevy Suburban taped to the garage door
Well,
with adhesives.
really unnecessary.
Really bizarre threats.
Look at Craig over there. I have half a mind to throw you up against the wall and tell you I don't like you, and what we could do to improve our communication and
Well,
not let resentment creep in.
well, you don't have
A
to
lot
throw
of
me
Gottman
against.
Institute relationship advice.
You don't have to throw me against the wall to do that.
You know, I come in here and I
Yeah.
look at you two guys with your microphones and your sets of eyebrows. And you're all like, look at me with the microphones and the sets of eyebrows, you know? And people are like, who are these guys? I'm just busting your balls there. That was all good, friendly busting of balls, even though I roasted you to a crisp there. I don't think Kyrie's going to make it to the AAC tonight.
Well, now,
let's just say he's going to have a little accident.
Oh my gosh.
Gonna have a little number 3 in his pants after eating an iffy cannoli. Yay. Look at George over there with his notebook and his skin tags being all like, you know, whatever.
What? You know, you latch onto odd things.
Hey, I'm here to give you guys a little advice. Listen to me. Look at me. Look at me.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right, look at me. I'm telling you. If you know what's good for you, then do that. I mean,
whatever that is.
Vitamins, a walking,
solid advice.
Staying in touch with friends, that sort of thing.
Okay.
I gotta get out of here. I gotta go collect the debt at 1310 Hitchcock's Way. But I'll leave you with a little reminder.
Okay.
Don't forget the sports.
Write that down.
What means. Write that down. Don't forget the sports. Here goes the very strange Johnny Pants.
I think we were threatened.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
But yes.
Get the Steak Podcast at patreon.com/sportsgreek.
Go Mavericks! Mavericks! Man, I've been following this team all year, and I'm so excited. Tonight is the night. It's not a must-win, but it's as close to it as you can get.
Yes.
I've heard people say that no team has come back from down 3 games, but I swear that happened a few years ago.
Not in the NBA Finals.
Okay. Where did it happen?
A few years ago, the Cavs were down 3-1, I believe. Yeah. And came back and won the final 3 games and beat the Warriors.
Are you talking in other sports?
In the playoffs, right?
Another sports?
No, I thought it was basketball. I mean, at least that's what I was thinking of.
Yankees, right? Weren't
oh, maybe that was it.
Last year, the Celtics were down 3-0 and forced Game 7 to the Heat.
Yeah.
But they lost.
Right.
Yeah, in the NBA Finals, it's never happened. I think it's happened 8 times across our 4 big sports. In just the playoffs, where someone has come back from 0-3 down. I'll find that.
But would you think that the Mavericks could do it? Like, what about that? Maybe I'll go out on a limb and predict that the Mavs lose tonight, but win the series.
Okay, great.
If I'm right on that, will you call me a sports genius?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Every day for a year.
Okay. In the history of these Big 4 leagues, teams that were down 0-3 in a series have come back to win the series 5 times. 4 times in hockey, and once in Major League Baseball when the Red Sox came back to beat the Yankees. Never happened in basketball.
Look at his T-shirt.
I said our 4 big, 3 big. Obviously,
3 big.
football, we don't
football.
have series. But it's never happened in the NBA.
So it is a moment in history.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be a great idea if football went to a best of 7 for the Super Bowl?
It would be the worst idea. Although you get 7 Super Bowl Sundays,
Super Bowl games.
potentially.
How about a best
it would be
of 3
huge
over 3 weeks?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's because it's too physically demanding.
Yeah.
To do 7, yes. But seriously, a series would be very interesting in football.
It
because
would.
You talk about the adjustments they make after that first game, and they've got to address this. It builds the drama up. And I think that a best of 3 is actually better than a best of 7. Because I think you get more of a chance to... That third game would be so huge if they're tied up, 1 game each.
The NBA used to do best of 3 in their first round.
I remember that.
Great.
Yeah. They were really intense.
So why'd they get away from that?
More money.
Oh, just adding
They
games,
pushed it to 5, and then they pushed it to 7
Right.
just because more money, more TV revenue.
So why doesn't the Super Bowl do it? This is a free idea that we're providing them.
They don't need to. How about that?
Is it because... Yeah, okay, here are 2 arguments I can think of. Number 1, the Super Bowl is the biggest single annual sporting event that day in the world, and they would be watering it down.
Yeah.
Yes, you'd be adding 2 more, but it would water down that one unbelievable day. You'd have 3 halftime acts instead of just 1. You know, it'd be watered down. And 2, do we see football as such a war that it would damage the reputation of this war?
Yeah.
By playing a series.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Yeah, but even in a war, you have the same two sides battle each other multiple times throughout the years until there's a conclusion to the war. We can have battles.
Hey, you know what? It would be a lot more money.
A lot more money. Yes, it waters it down, but there's more water.
Jerry's probably listening to this right now because he's a big P1.
Mm-hmm.
And he's probably thinking, how much more money would that be? And he's probably calling Goodell right now.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you would have fewer people that would watch any one individual game, probably. But maybe that third game would get as high ratings as just a single Super Bowl game. I don't know. It's just an interesting idea. Right. Heck, they're expanding the schedule. I'd rather have 3 Super Bowls than whatever 18 or 19 games, whatever they have in the regular season these days.
And
all the preseason games.
We're on our way to 18.
Stuff. Yeah. Jerry West is dead.
Yeah.
So
let us talk about it at 9:35. I don't.
Yeah, you stay away from this.
You stay away from this. You just
Kat assigned me this many years ago. I was on the Jerry West Death Watch, and I was assigned to cover it if it ever happened. If it ever happened.
You were not.
And he passed away at the age of 86.
Go ahead to the plumber on bath salts in Florida story.
I don't have a plumber on bath salts in Florida story.
Florida.
His wife Karen was by his side.
Okay, thank you.
I call him the logo. I mean, that's just something that I like to do for his family.
Kat told us specifically you are not trusted with eulogies.
Speaking of funerals, P1 Ashley, girl P1 or boy P1?
Could be either.
I'm going to assign girl at the birth of this email.
Okay.
So
right, great.
She says, Gordon, when you mentioned the song Suicide is Painless on the show, that came up because we were talking about Summer Bash song.
Yeah.
Has an opening that kind of sounds like the MASH theme, which the name of the song is Suicide is Painless. It reminded me of something funny that happened at my grandfather's funeral a couple years back. When he was younger, my grandfather hosted a local radio show once a week, and the intro song was Suicide is Painless.
Huh.
When he planned his funeral, he asked that song be played at the end of the service. The version without the lyrics, like that's played on MASH.
Yeah.
MASH has that song, but it was just the instrumental version. You don't hear the lyrics to Suicide is Painless.
It's a really depressing song, even without the lyrics.
Yeah. Well, as the service came to an end, the jackwagons running the sound played the song with the lyrics.
Oh, no.
Oh, gosh.
Tastefully insinuating that my grandfather committed suicide, which he did not.
Oh, no.
So that happened. That's how the grandfather's funeral ends, is they play a suicide song, making it seem like just depressing everybody as they walk out of there. Yeah, don't risk playing that song and someone gets the wrong version of it. All right, Sexy going away. This is interesting because they looked at the 250 highest grossing movies in the U.S. for each year since the year 2000, and they tracked the sexual content of them. And they found that now we don't have sex in movies anymore.
Interesting.
In general. It's gone down considerably. Almost half the films released last year had no sexual content. And back in the year 2000, it was less than 20% didn't have any sexual content. And now it's over half of them don't have sexual content. The biggest decline in sexual content in the thriller and action genre, a 70% drop over these past 2 decades. And part of this is driven by, of course, they're theorizing, but they're saying that Gen Z viewers are less willing to sit through graphic sex scenes because sex kind of makes them uncomfortable in public settings, and it's kind of almost seen like an assault on their senses, right? That they're made to watch this in front of other people, and it's uncomfortable. Also, perhaps the rise of intimacy coordinators on the sets of movies gives more time of reflection of, is this scene really needed for the story anyway?
Right.
And it's it's a bigger deal to film a sex scene because of intimacy coordinators and, double checking with everybody, and it gives you time to really question as to whether it's even necessary to have it in there. So that's one explanation.
I never heard that title.
We've talked about it on the air before.
Have we?
Yeah, intimacy coordinator after the Me Too thing. I think. Did they have it before Me Too? I definitely know that during the Me Too era, we talked a lot about intimacy coordinators being a bigger deal on sets and having people orchestrate the sex scenes much more than just leaving it up to the director. But the other explanation is perhaps the explosion of private time people have with sexual content, and we don't need to see it in movies because we see it whenever we want to, and
that's the first thing I thought of
our own chosen homes.
The explosion of porn.
Oh.
Yeah, when we were kids, we lived for sexual content in movies, especially when we were teenagers and our bodies are going crazy. But I found that
everything you just said creeped me out because it was coming from you.
But I found as an adult, whenever the love scenes come on or any kind of sexual content in a movie, I find myself in that category you talked about of, is this really necessary? This seems gratuitous. Can we just get on with the story? So all of this is believable. I think all three of those reasons are correct.
Yeah. George loves it when they make out in movies.
No, the mic's always way too close and hear way too many sounds.
Get ready, everyone. Always sounds like someone's ladling casserole in a quiet room.
Bingo.
Stop. Yeah. It is uncomfortable. And then when you start watching movies with your adult kids, and you...
What was the story that we had? It was a former program director of ours.
What was that
His
movie?
in-laws visited
Chasing
town.
Amy.
Yeah.
And they heard that Chasing Amy was a funny movie, so he watched it with his in-laws, and there was all kinds of discussion in that movie and scenes that... And he tried to write it out. And didn't he say that his father-in-law just got up in the middle of a movie and just went over and turned off the VCR?
Yeah.
And then just walked away, and everyone pretended like nothing had ever happened? Which makes it so uncomfortable.
Oh, man. Awful.
Almost half of 10 to 24-year-olds feel sex is unnecessary for the narrative in most TV shows and films, according to a study.
There you go.
That was done by the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA. That's interesting that young people have different attitudes towards... You would think that it was all going one way. That we're getting more and more accepting of Grex and just we wanted it everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But there is more of a puritanical, I don't know if that's probably not the right word for it, just a more chaste environment that the younger kids have.
Yeah, they're having way less sex than they used to.
And when we were young, all you wanted to do was mess with other people's bodies constantly.
It's all you thought about.
Yeah. And now it creeps this younger generation out. And kind of rightly it should, because
I think they got it right.
It's all just generally kind of gross, but weirdly attractive. I don't know. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm feeling. Oh, there you go.
All right, Gordo, thank you. That's the corner.
Well, look at this. A snake in the birdhouse.
Oh, yeah. Well, hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Sorry about last week.
We're just glad you're alive. Yeah, we're glad you made it.
With the COVID and stuff. But we're back.
Omicron.
I mean,
yeah, the Omicron.
I hear it's pretty serious these days. That used to have like a 98% fatality rate. Remember that?
It's true. and I lived through
and you
it.
survived it.
You're taking it down.
My third time to survive it.
Incredible.
I'm basically a superhero right now.
You could be immortal.
Yeah, you're not exactly immune because you keep getting it, but it can't beat you.
Well,
not so far.
As of now. By the way, Lando walked in here, and he said, because you guys were talking earlier about hot dogs, and that you don't eat them. I don't either.
Yeah.
I don't.
Stay away from the dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably been 25 years or so. Yeah. Yeah.
Not even a dressed up one?
No.
Okay.
I would eat like a brat.
Sure.
But I don't know the difference. Why would I eat a brat and not a hot dog?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
It's the same thing, right?
No, I definitely consider the hot dog the lowest common denominator of edible sausages. But I'll eat a hot dog on you. I love hot dogs.
But you won't eat bologna.
No, I will
and
not.
Lando
eat bologna.
said they're the same thing.
And they're not.
They're the exact same thing.
They're not. Oh, see, we have the
Hello.
shift change happening here. They're not the same thing.
Baldy left. I just sat.
You just came over here to yell at me
How
about
are they
hot
not
dogs.
the same thing, though?
What do you mean?
That's what I've heard. Is they're just like processed slightly different. So they're
they're essentially
the same thing.
Yeah.
I put them in the same category, just not the exact same thing. Because there's the hot dog a lot more than I do bologna. See?
They're both disgusting. So.
Words of a great man. Then there's the
Lando, do you eat bologna?
Oh,
yeah, why not?
100% he eats bologna.
I mean, why not?
I'm familiar.
Do you think he has the face of a man that eats bologna?
Yeah,
He
no,
definitely
100%.
does. And the belly for it.
Right. Do you mess with the patty version of the hot dog? It's like
I had never heard of that until you brought it up.
It looks disgusting.
It
like
does.
It's very jagged.
Again, I would offer up that the parts you're eating in a hot dog are the exact same parts you're getting at a bologna.
There's also only
next,
like
Birdhouse.
two brands of hot dog I'll eat. Like I won't mess with the other ones because they're gross.
Are like turkey hot dogs really all turkey?
Yeah, but they're probably like the weird trimmings of turkey
Yeah, it's
that
all
are then
giblet,
emulsified into
hooves.
whatever you're eating.
Yeah, beak.
That's what I always was told. Is that it's hooves.
They just put a bird into a vat, blend it,
and
I don't know,
lips and
wing.
It's just not. It's not normal.
It
It's
isn't.
already weird enough eating the carcass of a slaughtered animal.
Mm-hmm.
Can't we be more picky about what we actually consume?
We should.
Within those animals.
Yes, you're correct.
It's all gross.
It is.
On that front, if the Nathan's Hot Dog Contest told the ticket they needed two guys to replace Joey Chestnut, which two athletes would it be?
EA. Although
hot
he didn't
dog.
perform that well at Ticket Stock within the last month. I
gotta say, Lando would be up there for me.
Yeah, he's big. He's big bologna and hot dog here. So I'll put Lando. Honestly, the Ticker Boys might be my two choices.
I feel like George could power through some, man.
Yeah.
Because Baldy comes from a cattle-raising family.
Right. He comes from
Lando and Baldy.
From farm. Yeah, I think the Ticker Boys are my choices. If we have to go full-time.
And like EA, sometimes the bigger guys don't really come through in the eating competitions. They just look like they should be able to.
They're not emptying out beforehand. They're not fasting before big contests.
Like Kobayashi and Joey Chestnut are both like lean.
Kobayashi had a six-pack.
Yeah.
He was ripped.
Right.
Tiny little guy.
Boy, I miss that
What
guy.
about Eater X? Was he a small guy too?
He's a large man. Tim Janis.
Eater X.
Right?
Rachel has a follow-up from a few weeks ago regarding giving up power if it meant the Mavs made it to the finals, which they did, and I assume she gave up power in her house after that storm. What's the biggest sacrifice you would make to the basketball gods for the Mavs to win the NBA Finals? And she says, would I not see a Jason Isbell concert for 5 years? Yes. That doesn't bother me. Would Donovan give up going to Vegas for 5 years?
Yeah, he'd do that. 100% he'd do that. For a Mavs title?
Yeah, I think so, too.
Oh, yeah.
Even Vegas.
Yeah, he'd do that. For a Mavs title.
Would you give up going to breweries for 5 years?
Damn it.
I don't think you could.
I can't because I have to.
No.
For the station.
No.
For the station.
You could... They could bring the beer to you, but you just can't show up there at all
So
for
he
5
can
years.
still have craft beers. He
He
just
can go
can't
to the store, he can go to the... But you can't go to a brewery.
That seems cheap.
Oh, I'm in for that.
Does regular bar patio count as in brewery in this.
I just can't go to
deal.
a place where they brew their own beer.
Right.
Okay.
All right. I can.
That seems awfully narrow. You can do that.
So I think.
Yeah, you can do that.
Like, you can sit on a patio and drink the beer that the places brew that they serve at bars.
You can have the exact same beers just at other locations.
Damn it.
You could probably have somebody go pick up, like if they have an exclusive one that you want to try, you can
I'm
go
just trying to think
pick
in my
up
brain,
a growler
what would
for
I
you.
do on the weekend? I don't know what I would do.
You would go to a bar that served beer that the brewery also served. Those are everywhere. You do understand that concept.
I do. Man,
what do you
5 years though, dude?
Maps to come back 2-0.
Would you have done it for the Rangers? Would you do it for the Cowboys? Would you do it for?
I would have done it for the Rangers because that's what I wanted to experience more than anything in my sports life.
You're not committed to this, man.
You're not. You don't like any of these teams.
When I saw the Mavs win it, I remember it. I got a picture popped up in my memories earlier today because they won it 13 years ago today.
Bitch.
All right, well, this is specifically for you.
Bob.
This is specifically for you, bitch, is that from Eric, my dad loved breweries. Loved? Wait a minute. Oh.
Uh-oh.
R.I.P.
Oh, no.
R.I.P. Dad. Whoa. For Father's Day, I would like to honor him, which is weird, by going to the best brewery in the DFW area. Which one should I go to?
There you go.
He wants to honor his father, who liked beer.
Yeah, his dearly departed father.
By going to the best brewery in town.
I mean, the easy answer is to go get a Matty McKay's at Three Nations.
There he is.
Which is a phenomenal brewery. Celestial is up there for me. I go there a lot. False Idol in North Richland Hills. Odd Muse and Farmers Branch. Those are probably the 4 I go to the most. And I will tell you, Autonomous Society over there in Cedars on the south side, they're phenomenal. It's a super chill place. The beer is fantastic. So pick one of those 5.
Okay. You just can't go for 5 years,
Right.
so you're not going to be there at any of them.
Well, what about Manhattan Project that's also a coffee place? Could I go there?
Yeah, if they have a
If
dual
you can only have
purpose.
coffee.
Gotta be a loophole here somewhere.
No, you're right. You're done. It's over.
Yeah, the loophole is you
What
go,
about on
go to a bar.
rotation that brews their own beer but also carries other people's beer if I only drink the other people's
Are
beer?
you at a brewery?
Damn it.
Yeah, you're not going to get around this one, buddy.
You're at a brewery. Again.
Well, this doesn't make any sense.
No, it's tough. It's very tough love. Boy, there were a bunch for Donnie, assuming he was coming back today, but they are one that I'm good. One that I do want to ask him, but I think that we should kick around. They asked Donovan, did you see any indicators in Ireland that would lead you to believe that the South Oak Cliff High School would lose to the best 10 Irish basketball players?
I'm gonna
There's
guess.
no way.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess he's
Ireland
gonna say
would
no.
lose.
Like the best 10 in the country.
I was looking at
Ireland would get smoked.
Well, because I was looking at their
I think they could
qualifying.
beat the Irish Olympic team.
I think we might because they've never qualified. Like, if you go down the Irish qualifiers
Right.
for World Games and Olympics in basketball, it's did not qualify, did not qualify, did not qualify, did not try, did not qualify, did not qualify, did not qualify.
How is that?
Dude,
They
like,
suck.
They just can't get in anywhere. Because, like, it's the British, I feel like, have been in the Olympics a couple of times.
I think so. And they've got guys that are, 6'5",
Yeah.
6'8", 6'9", like
Do
that.
they?
Like, but the Irish, is that?
All right, so right now on the current roster for the Irish national basketball team, they have a dude who's 6'10", two 6'8" players, a 6'7", two 6'6", and everybody else is 6'5" or under. But everybody is 6'1" or taller. And these guys range in age from 22 on the young end to 31 on the high end, 32 on the high end. They have a guy named Paul Dick.
Why are you
who
saying
is-
that one?
Well, he was just the first
Paul
name. that I
is,
saw.
what-
They have Rapolas Boyavidis.
That's the big question. Is do they have any humans over there of African descent
With, like, melanin?
right?
I think-
that maybe look like Dwayne Wade.
Right. I think they might be a little light unless they can get some of Shaq's kids involved.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, they have
Jermaine
O'Neal's.
O'Neal.
Man,
Yeah.
they are Irish as it gets. They have a guy named Tawai
They're
Badmus,
Irish. It's the national team.
Sean Flood, Lorcan Murphy,
Lorcan?
James Gormley.
All right, South Oak Cliff would beat it by 50.
yeah, I think it might be more than that.
Easily.
50.
This
50
isn't
might
even
be
a
the
game.
spread.
Okay, Birdhouse hypothetical, $2 million for 2 years in jail or 2 years in a coma?
Coma.
Yeah, I'll take the coma.
Nobody's, cornering you in the shower in a coma.
But what if that is eliminated from...
So sans corning?
From prison.
Yeah, you may get
I don't know,
beat
man.
up a couple of times, but you're not going to get sexually assaulted.
But you're going to end up in some gang that's affiliated
And you
with
have
some
to go
race
through
tensions.
it. In a coma, you wake up and you think
I'm in the
1
future.
second went by.
Yeah.
Plus, you get the time travel, in a
Right.
sense. For $2 million, plus, could be Kelly LeBrock for your nurse.
And there's going to be news stories
Hot
about
Kelly
you because you
LeBrock,
woke
not the
up.
new one.
Prison doesn't sound good at all. Very few things would I choose over...
Wait a minute. Let's go back to Matt. So in the film, what was it? We've talked about it before. Steven Seagal, at
above
close
the law or
range or
whatever.
above the law. Yeah, it's always 3 words with an antecedent in the middle. You think that most people that wake up from comas have a supermodel sitting there looking at them right when they wake up?
Yeah.
I think it's possible. Hard to Kill was the name of it.
Hard to Kill. That each coma patient is greeted by a smoking hot supermodel who is not only really into them in their coma state, but ready to go with them for the rest of their lives.
To make use of that bed.
I think it's possible.
I don't.
There's some really hot nurses out there, and they're not all with man.
No.
They're also not into coma people.
Right.
But she takes care of you every day.
But that's going to be a deterrent. If anything, she's been scraping your
she may be
sleep dew off
when
of
you wake up and you talk to her, she's like, wow, this is a really nice guy, and I've already been caring for him.
No. She's seen too much.
He thinks it's probably 50-50 that he
No,
gets
he does.
To,
He 100% does.
How does she know you're nice? You're in a coma.
Right.
Right when he wakes up, he's like, oh, God, I'm
For
tired.
10 seconds, she
Well, then
knows.
the first thing he's like, oh, God, baby.
Right. And
No, 'cause
you're
you
going to
wake
wake up
up
and scare whoever in the room is away anyway.
I'd wake up like, what? And she'd be like, it's 2026. You've been in a coma. I'd be like, I have $2 million.
It's not a bad way to start, though.
Can I take you
That's
out for a
it.
drink?
First words. I have $2 million.
I just collected my $2 million.
I know that I have 2-year-old dragon breath, but I do have.
Hey.
But I have $2 million.
I'm rich.
Yes.
You ever thought about quitting your job?
It's not a bad starting point.
You've already seen what I'm working with.
And the last one, back to hot dogs. If eating 10 hot dogs in a hot dog eating contest could guarantee the Mavs win the series, could you do it? Could you eat 10 hot dogs? And there's obviously a time limit.
Right.
Let's say 10 in 10 minutes.
I think I'd choke to death.
Buns included?
Yeah, have to.
Man, I would try.
I'd give it a...
For the Mavericks, I would try.
Assuming that I don't choke to death, I think I could find
just
a way.
Chew a little bit better. You don't
Yeah,
have to
but I have
swallow
tiny
it
esophagus.
whole.
That's the thing.
Oh, I forgot
Yeah.
about that. You do have time.
That type of eating would be a very high risk for choke.
I think I could get 8 for sure. The last 2 would be difficult. I think I would have trouble.
I agree. I think the last 5 would be a freaking nightmare.
Yeah, it would be real difficult because it's going to get real rich,
and
salty,
wet, the buns. I can't. It's gross.
All right,
boys.
Thank you, Corby.
Good luck
there
tonight.
It is. Birdhouse.
Corby. Once again, the Ticket presents Why Today Doesn't Suck.
Before we do anything, I'd like to sing happy birthday to Mike Mayock. You guys ready? Happy birthday to you.
And now, here are your hosts, Sean Bass and David Mino.
That was a silly segment.
It was. It's a sweet spot, Sean Bass, David Mino, and at 2:57, Ham Beasley.
Thank you, Mino. Eatsy's Market and Bakery and GimmeTheVin.com brings you a man whose bank robber name is the C-Ring Bandit. It's Monty.
Why do they call him that?
His calling card.
Yeah, him.
He leaves them everywhere he goes.
You just hear the little clanging of the metal ring hitting the floor as I cloud of dust and a couple of bills flying in the wind.
They got a tracer on him.
Just an outline of Monty gone.
Oh, goodness. Well, it is game day, so I know the hard line will be down with the other MFFFFFFLs. But right now, they are up here. We say hello to Bob.
Bob.
Hello.
Corby.
Corby.
He's downstairs.
Yeah. He's at the Pizza Hut.
What are you
I'm
doing
just
down
trying
there,
to.
bro?
well, we're doing our show down here, and I was like, why shouldn't I start off down here? And
should have told me.
Courage.
Yep.
And I like it down here. I'm with my people down here.
You like all that air circulation in that room.
He just does does whatever he wants. He doesn't.
A lot of Native Americans down there.
He doesn't run the plays that are called. He just freelance offense.
Wild card Cobra.
I am one of you.
Well, pick me up a third-party shirt while you can that says Sam Hauser sucks or whatever. There's a lot of real cheap shirts and hats and stuff you'll see sold in the plaza. I saw them just during the road games.
I saw one that said Porzingis is hurt, and that's all it said.
What's it about?
I think you're reading the
I
interview.
saw one that said Kylie Irving.
Oh.
Served. All right. Let's get serious. Today
of course,
is Wednesday, June 12th, the 164th day of 2024, 202 days left in the year. On this date in 1849, the first gas mask was patented by Lewis Hazlitt.
Masks?
And then Laramie Tunsil would buy up the patent.
Yeah, that 160 years later, it cost Laramie Tunsil
up with weed.
It's like, you know what we could do with this?
Yeah, do you think that the original
weed out of it?
The original gas mask guy had any idea that it would turn into a vehicle for weed?
I want to try this.
I like to think that Martha Washington
It's like a glass bomb.
packed a big one for George.
So cheap looking. Oh.
It is real cheap looking.
Oh, Mo.
Pal. In,
Mo.
In 1939...
no. Bless you.
Oh dear.
Steady.
The Baseball Hall
Not
of Fame.
today, Lord.
The Baseball Hall of Fame was dedicated in Cooperstown, New York. So, how about that, Sean?
Adrian
That's
Beltre.
where Scott Rowland
this
now
summer.
resides.
Wow. Belts is going in.
Best town.
Scott's rolling.
Scott's rolling here.
Josh Smith one day.
Yes.
Let's worry about an all-star game first for him.
We're getting him there.
In 1942, in Amsterdam, Anne Frank got a diary as a birthday present.
Corby.
Like, oh, this is pretty cool.
I don't know if I'm even going to use this.
Yeah,
I don't like to write about my life.
I can't see or hear anything, but I'll try.
Slight Woody Allen inflection she had right there.
Water.
I know.
Water.
You have to punch all those dots.
And then she took an axe and gave her mother 40 whacks.
Better than her dad. In 1964, South African black nationalist Nelson Mandela was sentenced to life in prison, along with 7 other people, including Walter Sisulu, for committing sabotage against the apartheid regime.
A saboteur. Don't worry, he'll get out.
Will he?
You know, this whole song is a banger.
It's 4 minutes long.
It has that effect on people.
What if they sing that instead of the national anthem tonight?
What's it about?
Would that be controversial amongst people?
Like instead of Eminence Front, it's Free Nelson
With the
Mandela.
guitar guy.
Would that really
What's
hit?
going on?
Yeah, with guitar guy.
Matt's guitar guy. And fire.
The doof warrior.
Yeah.
Free.
Mine.
Free.
In 1970, in a 2-0 win over the San Diego Padres, Pittsburgh Pirates pitcher Doc Ellis.
What?
No hits the Padres on. Damn right.
LSD, bro.
How many walks? Was it
Like
9
11.
walks, I think?
Every other batter.
Fantastic documentary.
We were misled. We were misled because this was not a guy that took a hit of acid an hour before the game.
He took it.
He was coming. No, he was coming down off of all-nighter on acid.
Nah, bro. I'm pretty sure there's video of him right before the first pitch with a little dropper.
No,
dropping on the back of his tongue.
Eight batters.
That's incredible.
The story I heard was he took it in the morning because he did not think he was pitching that day.
So I think there's video evidence on the contrary.
And he popped like 3 greenies before the game too,
It's to balance himself out.
to level it out.
The rest of the story.
Can you imagine as the walls are starting to melt, the coach comes up to you and says, "Hey, ready for your start today?"
Acid. I think I could do this on MLB The Show on acid. I'm gonna try it.
In 1978, David Berkowitz was sentenced to 25 years to life in prison for each of the 6 Son of Sam 44 caliber killings that terrified New York.
That one there, Sam.
Sam.
Roll on back down here.
Sam.
There's the dog.
Is that how he would do it? He would just keep saying Sam and then shoot you?
Sam.
In 1979, Bobby Orr became the youngest player in NHL history to be selected for the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Good thing we don't care about hockey.
He was 31 years old.
Jeez.
Known for the Bobby Orr hat trick.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Everyone's favorite player. Yeah, that was me.
No, that was his father, Gordy Orr.
In 1981, Raiders of the Lost Ark premiered in theaters.
Greatness.
Never seen it?
What?
Yeah.
Bro.
The Nazis.
Super busy.
I've seen
Got
it.
a lot going
It's
on.
okay.
What's it about?
It's a Christmas movie.
Doesn't a Nazi face melt off?
Oh,
or
I didn't
something
even
in
think
that
about
movie?
Christmas movies.
Yeah, that's why.
The Ark of the Covenant.
Are you spoiling a movie for yourself?
Well,
if
it's
you look
just,
directly into it, it'll melt your face.
I feel like I've seen that scene somewhere.
Probably as a GIF.
Mm-hmm.
Snatch?
Yeah.
He used to say the same thing about Beaver Hunt.
In 1987, U.S. President Ronald Reagan challenges Mikhail Gorbachev to tear down the Berlin Wall.
Ugh. They're like, all right.
Now we're all
I never followed up. Did he do it?
Now we're building them.
He did tear it down?
I think so.
All right. I'm glad to
Well,
see
we
what
tear it down
international
here.
diplomacy looks like. That's good.
We tear it down here and we reassemble it on the Mexican border.
And they're going to pay for it.
In 1991, the Chicago Bulls won their first NBA championship in the team's 25-year history. But apparently, to start Game 5, they did not have their best player because he was still working his Taco Bell shift. So, doesn't even count.
What?
Okay. Let him go.
Just waiting to see if anyone moves.
He's cracking himself up. Let him go.
Nobody's moving. Okay, good.
All right.
Now we'll run the play.
Bob, you're our captain, Bob.
He's looking at the ball.
Obviously.
In 1994, Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman slashed to death outside her L.A. home. The killer still at large.
Killer here. We never found him. Or her.
Or them.
Really a
And to think
busy, busy sports day if you think about it.
OJ had to go back to L.A. and possibly sit on a bus next to the real killer. That guy had it tough.
Even though Eminem admitted he did it. It's in a song.
In 1997, we had the first ever baseball regular season interleague game between
Christmas song.
the San Francisco Giants and the Texas Rangers.
I was there.
Present.
Rangers.
Sean and I were there at the same time.
Y'all locked eyes.
Little did we know.
Having cotton candy and
lemon
sugar one day. Yeah.
Wow.
One day, all of this.
They're giving away cereal.
We'll be doing Diamond Talk one day.
On this date in 2011, the Dallas Mavericks won their first NBA title by winning Game 6 of the Finals in Miami, 105-95.
One suit, Bob. That's all you needed.
One suit indeed.
That was a great day.
Despite a 40-point triple-double.
Didn't you guys sneak into the after party somehow?
With Lil Wayne?
Yeah.
Cuban?
No, that was...
You had a horse outfit.
Is that when Corby smoked a cigarette?
Scissor.
I think that was a different finals.
That was
I've been to a ton.
Yam Mahaney's big night.
The elbow jumper before the third quarter, or buzzer at the third quarter?
End of the third, yeah. This is Peyton Pritchard tribute.
By the way, Justin, LeBron scored 11 points in that game.
In the fourth quarter?
Which amazingly,
in the game.
Which amazingly wasn't his
kidding.
worst
He scored
game.
21. He scored 21. That's cute.
And he had 4 rebounds.
Cute.
He's had some bad.
Well, if the Mavericks don't miss shots, how's he supposed to grab rebounds?
And he was a minus 24.
He's had some bad elimination games in his career.
He's honoring Kobe.
Yeah. He was ahead of his time.
I remember one particularly against the Celtics as
Minus 24 for the Mamba.
He's like, minus 8. That's old school, Kobe. Let's make it worse.
He shot 25% from the free throw line. He made a free throw.
And in 2017, Forbes released their top 100
for the Mamba.
highest paid entertainers list. Sean Puff Daddy P. Diddy Combs was number 1.
Puff Daddy.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
He had
He won birthdays today.
Do you think his triple-double were the 6 turnovers or the 1 for 4 from the line?
Well, see, the funny part is none of them add up to 10.
Chris Bosh breaks down crying.
Bosh was playing his butt off that day.
He was.
Yeah.
He played his heart to carry LeBron around.
Anyway.
No one carries LeBron, Sean.
Oh. Like Kyrie.
No? Kyrie left because he was tired of getting back.
Yeah, nobody carries LeBron to different teams. He chooses
He
to. He chooses
blows
to
them
himself.
up by himself. Okay. No one carries him to destroying 3 separate franchises. Thank you, David. All right.
Thank you, Justin.
P1 birthdays today. This one was from earlier in the week. We say happy birthday to Al's daughter, Georgia. It was her 5th birthday and also his 40th birthday. He's the guy that tweeted, Mino, you and I a couple years ago about Rey Mysterio.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
Why were you talking about Rey Mysterio?
I thought this was the. I thought you were going to go that this is the A&M guy that emailed us.
No.
Said some very nice things about the show.
That guy was not a big fan.
It's cheap to use your kid's birthday to get your own birthday on Why Today Doesn't Suck.
It's both of their birthdays.
Dave.
We'll say happy birthday to him. He would love a Line 4 guy joke, but I think I got a text from him earlier that he did.
I have one that would be appropriate for that, but
Okay.
a teacher asks her class, what do you want to be when you grow up? Well, little Johnny says, I want to be a billionaire, go into the most expensive clubs, take the best bitch with me, give her an infinite Visa card, and make love to her 3 times a day. The teacher was shocked and didn't know what to do with this answer and decided not to give importance to what he said and continue the lesson. He says, and you, Susie, the teacher said? Susie says, I want to be Johnny's bitch.
There you go.
Happy birthday, 5-year-old Georgia.
Yep. You asked for it, America.
Georgia. This is from Abram Luna. Hi, Monty. Today is the 10th birthday of my son, Abram Luna Jr. Van and Captain Sully Sullenberger are his leaders.
No.
Why would you record that? And this from dear listener Mateo Feo. Hola, Senor Monty Pantalones. I would like to wish mi esposa, his wife, Senora Fea, un feliz dia de los cumpleaños. She is a faithful P1. Her leaders are Myrtle from customer service and Dr. Carlton Maxwell. She would love to hear if the number 1 cop likes his gig or if he likes his job. Gracias, primo. From Mateo Fea.
We were talking with the number 1 cop in Dallas, the number 1 cop, the commissioner, chief of police, David Kunkel. What, do you like this gig?
No, I love my job. It's
that wasn't the question. Do you like your job?
No, I said, do I love? Maybe I didn't understand the question.
Okay. I mean, do you like being chief of police?
Was that the first question? Or was that just a reset?
That was a reset because we're talking to the number 1 cop. That was a reset.
Do you think he was afraid of being arrested?
He was probably holding at the time.
Yeah.
That's
why he was all nervous.
James Lipton would also start interviews with what?
And would often confuse chief of police with commissioner.
Right.
Who, me? Yes, you. All right, birthdays today. Marv Albert is 83.
Yes. Let's give him a pair of panties.
And a couple of extra participants in the bedroom.
That was here, right?
Yeah, I think
in studio?
No.
Well, not in the studio, no.
What's it about?
Reunion? What was that?
His
turning
incident in the hotel was in Dallas?
I think he's right.
Where he bit the prostitute in the back?
While he was wearing ladies' underwear.
Is that part of the walking tour of Dallas?
There's an X on the ground where it happened in the hotel.
Where'd this happen?
They had to remove the hotel room, though. The door's not even there anymore.
Hideki Matsui is 50. Godzilla.
Jeez, I don't know if that's his nickname.
It was.
I
actually
forgot
is, yes.
you were even
It
down there.
was,
So you
yes.
just said that. It is. I looked into it. Anton Jameson, 48.
Maverick great.
Maverick great.
Dallas Clark is 45.
Cold?
Indeed. Drew Holiday is 34.
Boo. Can't
Gosh,
boo Drew.
so old.
You turn 34, you can't play defense anymore.
Fall off the cliff starting
down.
tonight.
Coutinho is 32, Bob. How about that?
Maybe they went to the club last night.
Philippe.
And they're all going to be tired.
The great Coutinho.
Villa.
Turning 73 today, Bun E. Carlos, drummer of Cheap Trick.
Oh, greatness.
Eamon Walker is 62 of Oz and Lord of War, Chicago Fire.
Lord of War, may your
Jason Muse
hammer
is 50.
be mighty.
Jay from Jay and Silent Bob. Timothy Simons of Veep, 46. John Gorley of Portugal, the man, is 42.
Corby.
Oh, Corby.
Dave Franco, 39. Born to Stay Now Dead. 4. Brad Delp of Boston.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good sign. He died, the team dies.
Yeah,
Let's
bro.
go.
Jim Neighbors. Born to Stay Now Dead, the day she got the diary, Anne Frank.
Did he die because the guitars were too awesome and he got too close to him?
Also born to Stay Now Dead, George H.W. Bush.
He got
Do you think Jim Neighbors ever danced to a Boston song?
And his head exploded.
What a mess.
I told you can't stand
Stay on
there.
the Stage Still Dead,
Guitars.
Jerry West. Public Twitter likes. Henry Hill. Medgar Evers.
Corby.
And the aforementioned Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown Simpson. That is why today doesn't suck.
Yes, Medgar to Evers to Chance. That's right.
Bye, Justin.
Broadcasting live from the TXU Energy Mothership at Victory Park, hard by the AAC.
DEATH. What does that spell? Death.
Trifecta time at 4:23 here on the hard line from the PNC Plaza outside the AAC before the Game 3 in the NBA Finals. And we had a Trifecta late edition because today, Corby,
good timing,
Jerry West has died at the age of 86.
The logo.
Now, Deej, where are we? Are we starting a new one?
Larry Allen closed out room 308 last week, so we got 309 open.
All right. Wide open room 309, Corby, for Jerry West.
Yeah, and I'm saying this with as much gumption as I possibly can, because I do believe this. I don't know if anybody embodied the NBA over the course of 60-plus years more than Jerry West. Is that fair to say?
It's an extremely short list. I hadn't thought about that, but given the fact that he's pretty much been in the NBA from the time he started as a player in 1960 and an executive all the way until, geez, when? When did he stop being an executive?
This year. Like, he was part of the Clippers this year.
Wow.
So yeah,
64 years in the league?
Yeah, and and it's one thing to be part of a league and be kind of a bit player. It's another thing to be first team All-NBA in 11 of your 14 playing years, to go to the finals 8 times. Granted, he only got 1, but he was there damn near every single year. Then to be a head coach of the team that you played for in the Lakers for a short time before moving on to be an executive there. And from 1982 to 2002, he was the general manager of the Lakers, a time in which over 20 seasons they went to the NBA Finals 10 times and won it 6 times. And then he went on to help architect the Golden State dynasty. I mean, it's crazy what this guy did. And like Dave said, he's the logo.
Yes.
Literally the logo of the NBA.
I heard the Sweet Spot discussing the whole logo thing and how the league has never acknowledged that that's actually him. I always thought that was so they didn't owe him money. Am I incorrect in that? Like if you actually tell someone, I guess.
Probably, yeah.
I just don't think they ever wanted to pay him for that, and maybe they wouldn't have to, but I assume if they do make a big thing about, yes, that is the inspiration for our entire league logo that we've used forever, that they would owe him or his estate something sizable, and I assumed that was a big game, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Well, he grew up in West Virginia, went to the University of West Virginia before the Lakers end up drafting him, and he was instantly one of the best players in the league. And he was instantly one of the best shooters in the league and instantly one of the best guards to ever play in the league. And unfortunately, his Lakers team, and they drafted him first, I believe, the year after they moved from Minneapolis to Los Angeles. I think that's how the timeline went down. So he was on the original L.A. Lakers team.
Wow.
The first team ever. And he was unbelievable. And as I said, he was named to NBA first team, the All-NBA first team 11 times.
Did you say you said he was picked first by the Lakers?
I believe
but
so. I don't.
Second overall.
Yes.
And first overall, Oscar Robertson.
Not a bad duo.
And how many drafts can claim a 1-2 like that?
And, the bad part about it from, people from my generation and certainly younger generations is that there's not a ton of footage out there of Jerry West. Or, there is. You can see it, but it's not like it's part of, like, the dynasty that he built in L.A. where everybody can see anything and everything from the Magic and Kareem and Lakers. But there's just not much out there by way of that era, which it sucks because you're talking about. I would love to see, a fully digitized game of when they finally broke through and won the NBA championship after missing out 9 times or whatever it was. That'd be really cool with Wilt out there, finally getting what they deserved all those years. But it's just not. It's like talking about Bill Walton. That stuff just isn't out there. And unfortunately, the NBA did not become the NBA until Magic and Larry became part of it, and then it just took off.
Well, and the fact that he was known for his outside range, but it was before the implementation of the three-point line.
Right.
So, there was no incentive to shoot from deep, but he did have that range.
Yeah. Yes. He took over after he played for all those years for the Lakers, and he was a pretty good coach. He was 145, 101, and 101 as a head coach, but he said it wasn't very rewarding for him. And he was head coach of the Lakers when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar broke his hand playing for the Bucks when he punched Kent Benson, the Bucks center, and he was the coach on the floor when Rudy Tomjanovich almost got killed by Kermit Washington. And he said it kind of affected him in a way. He was like, I don't even know if I want to be a part of this. I kind of want to sit high up and just kind of lurk down on everything and help build these teams. And so that's kind of exactly what he did. He basically built the Lakers. He picked Worthy over Dominique Wilkins in 1982. I do not know how the Lakers got the number 1 pick in 1982. It's almost like, how did they get Magic Johnson and how did the Celtics get Larry Bird? Like, what was going on in the NBA back then?
I'm trying to remember how that worked out, and I'm also trying to remember what we learned from Winning Time versus True Accounts, because Winning Time...
Yeah, if you believe Winning Time, Jerry West was an a-hole.
They definitely made Jerry West into a cartoon character. But I don't recall the actual transactions of the 82 draft. I apologize.
How about, though, when the Lakers were going through their slump in the 90s, and this is post, they went to the finals, got beat by Jordan and the Bulls in 91, and then Magic had to retire because of HIV, and then you're chasing ghosts. You're trying to figure out, what do I do? How do I get this thing back on track? And he had drafted Vlade Divac. They were still hanging on to like Byron Scott and guys like that, but he had drafted Vlade Divac, and in the mid-90s, he had the idea of trading Divac, who was a very, very highly thought-of player, traded him to the Hornets for Kobe Bryant.
Yes, because Kobe was not ever going to play in Charlotte, and that was a big thing. Is he was trying to figure out a way to L.A., and Jerry West organized 2 different dynasties, to be honest. When you talk about how it all falls into place for Lakers basketball, Jerry West and his fingerprints are on literally everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, and in that same week, he signed Shaq as a free agent. So in the pantheon of NBA general manager moves, could that be considered the greatest week ever?
I would think so. Now, young me would also tell you that it must be nice to have all these guys say, I must play for the Lakers.
I know.
Right? Because that...
But that's because of him.
Well, it is. It also it has to do with an ocean and girls and things of that nature.
But the Showtime Lakers laid the foundation for everything.
Yes, that's true.
And
the Clippers were not enjoying this.
And the fact that 3 years after he got Kobe and Shaq, he convinced Phil Jackson to come to L.A.
I know. It's unbelievable. Dude, he talked Kevin Durant. He was the final piece that the Golden State Warriors used to get Kevin Durant to come there for those couple of years. I mean, he's everywhere.
So as I was listening and researching, I want to make sure I don't echo something in here, but did you point out that he's the Chuck Howley of the NBA?
Yes, the only MVP.
The only losing MVP in 1969. And just think about all the heroic efforts of a player who is on a team like Luka that is just outgunned, and could one of those ever be the MVP? It's happened once. It was Jerry West.
Yeah, and I believe, was that the playoffs that he averaged 42 points a game?
Yeah, it's also with the 60-footer.
Yeah,
to tie the game.
Yeah, to tie Game 6 or Game 7 against the Knicks, he made a half-court shot or beyond half-court shot. Yeah, dude. I mean, it's absolutely crazy what this guy was capable of on the court and off the court.
And one of the early reasons why we don't count rings to explain a player's greatness, and that's. That's why I think the greatest football player or greatest basketball player of all time discussion needs to be a little more nuanced than, well, he's won more titles than anybody. I mean, there are times where a guy like Jerry West and countless other guys play their butt off in a career and just find titles to be very, very difficult to come by. It's an individual performance in a team world.
Yeah.
And sometimes that matters a lot.
Well, like we said, in the span of 60 years, there may not be another guy that has meant more to the league than this guy. And that includes the likes of Michael Jordan. When it all boils down to it, he was everywhere. And did it until the very, very end. I didn't even know he was sick, if in fact he was sick.
Lando, did you want to chime in with something?
So Adam Silver acknowledged today that the logo was based off of Jerry West, but he commented that Jerry himself said that he was uncomfortable being known as the logo and felt that the logo should stand for something bigger than himself.
So
that
today,
explains that.
the day of his death, is the very first time the NBA has officially acknowledged that he's the logo?
Correct.
It's kind of awesome, isn't it?
That is kind of awesome.
Well, if Jerry West was going to die, he picked the perfect time. Right in the middle.
Game 3.
Of the league, the championship league that he helped build over the last 6 decades.
Another opportunity for a Laker to try and upstage the finals.
That's true.
Try as they might. The Dan Hurley thing didn't work. So.
Right. Let's kill Jerry West.
Jerry West. All right, in.
Yeah.
Definitely. All right.
And here he is, a man that I have peeled off for brunch before with. It is Dave.
What's up,
Thank
Dave?
you. All right, I have a lot of stuff to get to, and I don't know if I'll be able to even scratch the surface. But first, we have a somewhat notable death. Not a name that I'm entirely familiar with, but a name that I guess is significant enough to get a lot of coverage. You ever heard of the name Francois Hardy?
No.
She is was a French singer-songwriter. She just passed away at the age of 80 from laryngeal cancer. And she was a sensation in France in the early 60s. And this was a song from her debut album, Le Temps de l'Amour. See if you've ever heard this before. Very early 60s. Like you could imagine Austin Powers dancing to this. So she was a contemporary of Mick Jagger and the Beatles.
Yeah.
They hung out together. Bob Dylan had a crush on her, apparently. He included a poem that he wrote for her called For Francois Hardy in the liner notes of his album Another Side of Bob Dylan in 64.
Does it say if he boned that?
I don't know. I don't know if he ever did. But, so she, not only was she a recording artist, she also was a film star, and she was kind of a fashion icon, as she had a lot of clout in fashion circles in Paris.
Was she hot?
In her day, yes. She was quite hot.
Well, I'm not saying now. I'm just saying, in general.
You got to look her up.
Okay.
All right, speaking of hot pieces.
Now we lost Corby for the rest of the segment.
Come on, man. I just want to see if she's good looking or not. Whoa, okay. That's all natural and pretty sweet for back then.
Yeah, that's the picture I saw. And that picture looks like it could have been taken last week.
Wow, it's like Denise Richards.
I know. Yeah.
You like that, Corby?
R.I.P.
Speaking of lookers.
R.I.P.
I was always fascinated. Well, in general, I was fascinated by the paintings of Patrick Nagel in the 80s. But in particular, I was infatuated with the cover model on the Duran Duran Rio album.
Let's once again look that up because I can't remember.
So, they partnered with Patrick Nagel, and he did the artwork for Rio. And forever, no one knew the inspiration for that cover. And finally...
This lady?
Well, yes,
okay.
That lady.
All right.
So finally, there was a Patrick Nagel historian, Bob.
Yes.
Who has uncovered who this person was.
Jerry West.
That, because Patrick Nagel, he would have tear sheets. He would pull pictures from magazines and different art books as inspiration for his work. And so they revealed that the reference photo for the Duran Duran album cover Rio was from a 1981 issue of Vogue Paris, and the model's name was Marcy Hunt. Marcy.
Go ahead, Bob.
Hunt.
Go ahead, what?
I'm just saying, make your jokes. Make your Hunt jokes.
Or maybe it's Marcy Hunt.
Yeah.
So here's the side-by-side. So that's the original photo. and that's the Nagel version.
Okay.
I believe it.
Did she get any monies for this?
No, she never did because he never revealed his inspiration. But
like Jerry West,
she. So Duran Duran shared this, and Marcy Hunt, she retired from modeling. She had her family, but she posted on the Duran Duran post, she said, "This is so cool. I absolutely did not know until now that this photo of me was used for the Rio cover. Very exciting. I love Duran Duran, danced to their music often in the 80s and later at my wedding." So she's not bitter for not getting a dime from it.
Did she ever dance in the sand?
Maybe. Huh. Like
Speaking
that
of-
river twisting through a dusty land.
Speaking of dancing, did you guys see the Courtney Cox remake of Dancing in the Dark?
Oh, yeah, she did like a TikTok.
Yeah, she did, because that's, whatever, Friends. What was her name in Friends? Monica. Before she was Monica, that was her big break. She went to a casting call for a Springsteen video, and the casting director plucked her out of a call of 1,000 women or whatever, and she got that part. But that dance was so incredibly...
It's kind of like the Molly Ringwald a little bit.
Yeah,
from
just
Breakfast Club.
A little corny, and but it was an awesome video that we all watched 1,000 times. I think it was awesome. I don't know. And she redid it the other day on TikTok. She's had a lot of work done too. I'm not comfortable with
She
it.
had a lot of work done.
Yeah, she has had a lot of work done.
I would just like to say, to own my past and admit that I was always way more into Monica than I was into
Rachel.
Millions more who were into Jennifer Aniston.
Right, because you were like, she probably feels like she's inferior, so I might actually have a chance with her.
It was a Ginger and Marianne type thing, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Societally.
No doubt.
There's an update on Gary Glitter, the disgraced pedo pop star.
He's not in prison?
No, he is.
Oh, okay.
He is.
Out.
He's the Mark Falwell theme
He doesn't
song
know if he's ever
co-writer.
going to put these headphones on again.
He doesn't.
So he's been ordered to pay over $648,000 in damages to one of his victims. So he's now 80, and he is in prison. His name is Paul Gadd, his real name. So he received a 16-year sentence in 2015 for sexually abusing 3 young girls between 1975 and 1980. And so one of these girls sued him for monetary damages. And so yesterday, High Court Judge Mrs. Justice Tipples ordered him to pay this amount, $648,000, to the victim who was 12 at the time.
Whoops.
And that she couldn't, according to the court testimony, she couldn't work for decades after the abuse. She suffered from feelings of shame and worthlessness and thoughts of self-blame, and that her mother was beguiled by Gary Glitter and ended up leaving her alone with him, and that's when the abuse happened.
Ugh.
And you asked if he was in prison. So he was, as I mentioned, he was sentenced to 16 years in 2015, but he was released early in February of 2023 after serving only half his sentence. But then, while he was out, a photo emerged of him using a smartphone, and he was looking up how to access the dark web.
Oh, no. What an idiot.
And so that was obviously...
Someone photographed him on his phone with that search icon.
Yeah, he was Googling how to get on the dark web. And so obviously, even having a smartphone was a violation of his probation, so he had to go back to prison.
The only thing worse would have been if they would have caught him searching, what's the deal with first graders?
What is the deal?
I don't know.
That would be a search?
Let's see.
Do you have a Google where you have to ask it questions like Jerry Seinfeld would?
What's the deal? Let's see. Matty Healy, who briefly dated Taylor Swift last year.
Uh-huh.
He is the frontman for the 1975.
Yeah. Wasn't this last album about him?
Well, yeah. So, Tortured Poets Department, the tracks "The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived" and "But Daddy, I Love Him" are reportedly about Matty Healy.
Such a jerk by T Swift, man.
But he is now engaged. He is engaged to model Gabriette Betchel. And she announced the engagement by sharing photos of her engagement ring as she was attending their mutual friend Charlie XCX's concert in New York City.
Okay. Well, I mean, I always thought that he would have big problems scoring another girl.
Right. Yeah, with his big chest tat.
Yeah.
He's the prototypical bad boy. And, of course, and this model chick, she's kind of gothy and tatted, so they're perfect for one another.
Of course. Sure, she's real ugly.
She's extremely gothy.
As that romance begins, there is the end of another, as Billy Ray Cyrus is ending his marriage to Fire Rose.
Now, Bob, I want you to take a guess. Billy Ray Cyrus, he fell in love with this woman. It was destined to be forever until forever ended. How long did the marriage last?
The weekend.
Close. Less than a year.
7 months is the number that I read.
Okay. Yeah, so she is Australian. She is also a singer, recording artist. Her real name is Joanna Rose Hodges. And Billy Ray filed for divorce, citing irreconcilable differences and inappropriate marital conduct.
Yeah.
And he wants an outright annulment on the grounds of fraud. So they went public in 2022, just months after he split with his ex-wife and Miley's mom, Trish. And he met Fire Rose like in 2012 on the set of Hannah Montana. So he kind of had that on the back burner for a long time.
Yeah.
Then they finally hooked up, and then he realized, you know what? Any woman named Fire Rose is insane.
Well, I'm sure
that's a good rule.
He's not the easiest one to live with either. I believe that's, did you say his third or fourth marriage?
I think it's his third.
Okay.
Yeah.
No knock on those that have been married 3 times.
Do you want one more or no?
You can do one more.
Would you rather hear about Metallica or Celine Dion?
Metallica.
What do you Beavis and Butthead are sitting here basically, and you just asked that question?
Okay.
Dave, could you give us the latest on Celine Dion?
Well, it is curious.
I'd love to see Beavis and Butthead answer that question.
It is curious that Metallica, who famously took on Napster and were so anti-technology, right?
Yeah.
Now they have partnered with Fortnite. They will become the first band to take center stage across all Fortnite experiences beginning tomorrow. So in every game mode, starting tomorrow, and for the entire month of June, the remainder of June, if you're a Fortnite player, you will play in Metallica-themed gameplay.
I love it.
And then that will culminate with Metallica Fuel, Fire, Fury playable concert events on June 22nd and 23rd. So players will run through a 6-song set of Metallica's hits with themed gameplay that, quote, complements the intensity of a Metallica live show. So there's got to be flames everywhere.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost enough to get me to play Fortnite, but just not quite, unfortunately.
I'm in.
All right. Thank you, David.
Get the Steak Podcast at patreon.com/sportsgreek.
Absolutely not. Well, my God in heaven.
Oh, goodness.
Sweet Lord.
We can't even get out of our chair without...
You were so quiet and smooth.
I know.
And then you yanked the cord out of the wall.
God, I'm an idiot.
You should have.
We have Corby on the wireless mic now.
You should have just yelled Anne Frank real loud.
It is louder out here. I just want to let you know.
Yeah, it is.
See if you can find Anne Frank again.
All right, I'm not going to find Anne Frank. There's no way. Hang on, let me work, and then I'll get a photo. Weird question from the guy. Weird question. Wow. This is pretty nuts out here. So there is the line to get in the actual arena.
Yeah, they have a blue carpet laid out for the line to get in.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there's a guy with a Denver Nuggets shirt on. So we've seen so far, the 2 oddest shirts so far are the guy with the Texas Longhorns jersey. Now, granted, he did have a Mavericks hat on, and now the Denver Nuggets jersey. The Mile High City jersey.
Maybe he pre-bought his final tickets.
Yeah.
Write him a ticket.
I don't... Do I even... He doesn't deserve to be talked to, does he?
No.
Yeah.
He's that guy.
Yeah.
We don't
really
talk
is.
to that guy.
So to set it up for people that are not here, they have set up the blue carpet, and the blue carpet is adorned from the beginning of the plaza on Nowitzki Way, where the statues are, Madonna and Dirt. They've set it up all the way down there to the bottom, and then they have these cardboard cutouts, or really they're not cardboard, they're more wooden cutouts of every player on the Mavericks. And so everybody is walking up here and taking pictures and enjoying the scene and all that good stuff. Oh, wow, look at this. Okay, hang on. You guys. Wait.
That's why
Oh, no way.
But let's go Mavs.
They're back?
She going home crying.
Okay, well, let's back up here. Daughter, mom, what's mom's name?
Carla.
Carla and daughter?
I'm Candace.
Candace. Okay, how did this happen? Because daughter is wearing a Boston Celtics jersey. Mom is wearing a Luka jersey. So how did this happen? Let's go to daughter first.
She decided to be a Mavericks fan, and I was born into the Celtic way of life.
What does that even mean? Where were you born?
I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. And she flew in, especially for the game.
So how did you become, seriously, how did you end up being
I've always been a since Larry Bird.
Since Larry Bird?
Larry Bird. I've always been a Celtics fan.
You understand you're one of the few.
Was the best era of the Celtics.
One of the few black lady Larry Bird fans that we have.
She loved Boston. She loved all of them. But she going home crying tonight.
Now wait, Mom, are you from Dallas?
I've relocated here from Cincinnati.
Okay, how long have you lived here?
12 years.
Okay, so you're all in Mavs now.
All in. What a shame. The time. What a shame.
Now, okay, who bought these tickets? Mom, did you buy them or?
No, that's not in the budget, but we partying right over here. We partying right over here at Heroes. You can check on us later.
Okay.
We still in the party vibe.
Promise I will.
Okay, look.
They weren't in Boston, were they, Corby?
Were you guys in Boston as well? You weren't in Boston too, were you?
No.
Okay.
Born and raised in Ohio.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, welcome to town. Welcome. Yeah, I'm glad that you're a Mavs fan. You, I don't really know, but that's okay.
What a shame.
I know. You think it's sweep?
Oh, broom. Where's my broom?
Hey, did you hear the latest news?
She can't take over this interview. We're winning the next two, and then we're going to Boston, and I will be in there for the next watch party.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, you know KP's not playing.
I know.
He's out.
That doesn't make a difference, though. We've got a superstar team.
You don't even need him, do you?
You don't even need him.
Who needs him? All right. Sweep indeed. We'll see you guys. Wow. The mother.
Because remember, we
combo.
ran into that mother-daughter combo where the mom was a Mavs fan and the daughter was a Celtics fan. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I totally do.
Boston with the giant hat.
Yes. Yeah. You guys want Mavs?
But they're not the only mother-daughter combo.
No, they were on our flight up there too.
Yes, they were.
Do you want Mavs or Celtics? Because now the Celtic fan is starting to roll in here.
You know what? I got my fill of Celtics fans.
Are you sure?
Over the weekend.
I don't remember seeing any of them.
I feel like we got quite a few of them.
Yeah. All right, let's walk over here.
We need a charge of optimism.
Okay, well, let's walk over here by our broadcast booth. There's a whole bevy of ladies here. Hi, guys. How we doing?
Great, how are you?
I'm doing good. What's your name?
Amanda.
Amanda, are you a big Mavs fan?
I'm a big Mavs fan.
Big. Have you heard the KP news that Porzingis isn't playing tonight?
Have I heard of what?
Uh-oh. That Kristaps Porzingis is not playing. Do you know who KP is?
Yeah, let me chime in here. What's the question?
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
We need a little backup, don't we?
Yeah, we're doing a little backup.
So Kristaps Porzingis is out tonight for the Celtics.
Even better for us. Let's get this done, all right? We need to seal game 3, all right?
Does Amanda not know who that is?
Has she ever heard the Boston song,
okay,
Amanda?
I'm here. Samantha's here to help.
Okay, Samantha. Now, Amanda, are you aware of the band song Amanda?
I'm going to take you by surprise and make you realize Amanda.
Hell yeah, Amanda.
Yeah, I'm aware.
Okay, all right. Was that like, maybe you were named after that?
No, I wasn't.
Oh, that's too bad. What were you named after?
I don't even know.
You don't?
It was like a popular name in the 90s, early 90s.
Bad News Bears.
That's cool. Yeah, that's totally cool. So are you guys going to the game or are you just here for the big party?
We're here for the party.
Are you? Where are you going to end up watching it?
Hero.
At Hero?
Yes, at Heroes, yeah.
Are you guys feeling good about the game?
We're feeling good energy. Good energy going into game 3, absolutely.
Positive energy?
We're not going 0-3, that's for sure.
No. See, Amanda, that's what I like about you, the positivity. Now, is this a good place to, like, hook up if you were into hooking up? Like tonight, like there's a big spirited crowd and guys and girls and oils and lotions.
There's probably lots of drunk men and women to hook up with if that's what you're asking, yes.
Would that be something you would be interested in?
No, I'm a nice girl.
But it's game 3. It's fun.
Yeah, what if they win?
No.
What if we win? What if we win?
No, I'm a nice girl.
Oh, man, what a bummer. How about you, Samantha?
What a bummer. You're a slut.
Also a nice girl sometimes. But, yeah,
Dang.
tonight we'll be going home together.
Tonight, no matter what. You know what? Some people, hey, tonight people might just get pregnant. We just can't tell.
It won't be me, but yes.
Okay, all right. All right, well, good luck and
Oh,
everything.
Dave,
Good luck tonight. Good luck
we're swag surfing.
and not getting pregnant, all that stuff.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Bye, Amanda. Bye, Samantha. Take care. There they go. She wants to take you by the hands.
And make you understand.
Amanda.
Flag.
What
Sir,
time is it?
Flag. 6:10.
Yeah, you got a couple minutes.
Do I have time for one?
All right. Let's go find some other young Mavericks people. Let's walk over to the blue. Oh, here's a young,
Go over to the sparkly wall. See who's hanging out by the sparkly wall.
here, let's see what's going on over here. Hi, ma'am. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. What's your name?
Felicia.
Felicia.
Yes.
Hello, Felicia.
Hi.
Instead of bye, Felicia.
Yes.
Yeah. Never heard that one.
Where are you guys from?
Grapevine.
Grapevine. Okay. And are you going into the game?
We are. Where are you from? Who are you?
I'm from Dallas with the Ticket radio station.
Love it. Okay.
You've heard of the Ticket?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, that's very
Love
cool.
it.
Are you feeling good about tonight?
Yes, I am feeling so good. Kristaps Porzingis is injured. We're on home court. Kyrie's going to come back and do great for us.
This is it, right? That's the best the best analysis I've heard yet.
We're ready.
Now, do you come to games often? Or
We are quarter ticket season.
Your season ticket holders?
Hot dog.
We have quarter season.
Yeah, quarter season.
250,000 million.
Is this your family?
It's a father-daughter thing that we do.
Oh, that's so sweet. How old is daughter?
What was that?
How old is daughter?
30.
How long you been coming to these games?
Forever.
So this is like your jam.
Yeah.
Were y'all here with Dirk and all that?
Oh, yeah. Jason Kidd, the 3 J's.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jamal. Yeah. We're all the 3 J's. Yeah, we were here.
Samaki Walker.
Kidd,
Yeah, Samaki Walker.
Jamal Mashburn.
Steve Nash was my first love.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Marino.
She was mine.
Jason Kidd was? Well, it spans generations. Maybe you guys got a chance with both of them now.
Let's hope so.
Well, good luck tonight. Have fun. Enjoy it. Father, daughter, mommy.
Who are you with, by the way?
I'm with the Ticket.
The Ticket? Oh, nice. Nice. We listen to you guys.
All right, thanks, man. We'll see you.
Bye, Felicia.
See?
That's awesome. That was an exclusive.
Bye, Felicia, indeed.
I wonder if they hate Tony Braxton for breaking up the 3 J's.
Probably so. Who doesn't around here, you know? Oh, look at all this Boston. There's a lot of Boston in here, man.
Yeah, we need to chase that out.
Seriously. I would hope if this game is successful, then Game 4 is not going to be near as Boston-centric because they're going to be living in fear.
Maybe. We just got to get this one.
Yeah.
Don't let it. You know what, Boston? Don't let us get this one.
No.
Just don't.
No.
Yeah. If you know what's good for you.
What's up?
Gunner.
Oh, what's up, man?
How you been?
I'm very good. It's Gunner Rawlings. So, what's your name?
Chris.
Hi, Chris.
I also wanted to let you know Harvey Shart sends his regards.
Harvey?
Harvey Shart.
Oh, yeah, I do. That's a good one. That's a good reference point. All right, well, cool. We're out of time, so it's good to see you, Gunner. All right, back to you.
All right, well, there you go. There is Corby on the scene at the PNC Plaza before Game 3. It is the Celtics and the Mavericks getting ready to go at the top of the hour. Our pregame show commences, but we have a couple big segments before that, including the following community quick hits, Dave.
The most depressing joyride ever.
And here he is, Dave.
All right, so I mentioned that we were going to talk about the most depressing joyride ever. This occurred yesterday in Fort Worth. Fort Worth police arrested a woman, 36-year-old Valerie Tragler Ellis of Azle. So Fort Worth police were called to John Peter Smith Hospital yesterday around 7 p.m. And they were called about a stolen vehicle. So the incident began when an employee of a mortuary service arrived at the hospital with a mortuary transport van to pick up a body from John Peter Smith Hospital, a deceased person.
I wonder if it was Damaris that was driving the van.
Come on, like he moonlights as a mortician.
What's wrong with you?
In to pick up your body.
So the driver for the mortuary left the vehicle.
Oh, no.
To go inside and get this dead body from the hospital. There was already the body of another person inside. While he was inside.
Behind the wheel?
And no. In like the zip bag in the back.
Okay.
And so while the driver was in the hospital, police say Traegler Ellis went into the van and drove it away from the parking lot. They found the stolen corpse and the vehicle about 2 miles from the hospital on Park Place Avenue. So I guess she realized that there was a dead person in the back and just left it on the side of the road.
Ew. The car or the body?
The car.
Okay.
Yeah, she left the car.
No, they took the body and made it posable like a hitchhiker.
Right. Just kind of leaning up against the car.
With sunglasses on.
Yeah.
With pant leg hiked up.
Right.
So, she left the vehicle on foot, and police found her a short time later and arrested her. So they still don't know why she stole the van, but she has been charged with auto theft and abuse of a corpse.
So I'm fine with the theft of an auto. But if you don't know that there's a corpse back there, and then you're only 2 miles down the road and you're like, wait a minute, uh-oh, and then you pull over, is that really abuse of a corpse? Or is it just the fact that if any time a corpse is involved and you take it away from its intended spot, you're abusing it?
Yeah, you're taking it out of the custody of the licensed mortician.
And if it is, might a dirty cop plant a corpse on your vehicle to make the crime even worse?
Right. You abused this corpse.
Yeah, there was a corpse in here the whole time. How'd you not see it?
Yeah.
And he had it in his pocket and just put it in there.
I feel that...
I mean, maybe it was a really cool-looking van.
This is... okay.
Because it's not like they're like hearses. I mean, still you will see hearses in funeral processions, but like when they're transporting bodies to and from hospitals, like they're like Sprinter vans, right?
Sometimes. I like to think that my bodies are being transported in a Ghostbuster van, right? That style of automobile.
The old school ambulance station wagon.
Yeah. Also, this further proves my point that we should incinerate people as quickly as possible. Like within seconds after death, you should light them on fire and turn them into ash.
Okay, so you're against
even if that's against their wishes or religion?
Any burials.
Any of them. Just a waste of space. We need more green space. We just did this segment about Boston.
Well, bodies help green grow.
Right.
They're fertilizer.
You don't okay, would it
ashes don't.
Would it because when we walk through...
Do you think ashes are fertilizer?
No, I know they're not fertilizer, but when we walk through Boston...
I don't know if you know that.
When we walk through Boston, we see all these headstones and, little cemeteries dotting the landscape, and I know it's part of their history, but do you think they would be bothered if, in fact, they're like, you know what, we're going to turn these things over, and we're going
to... They dug them all up, and they moved them to Landfill Island?
Yeah, they moved it to Trash Island.
And Corby just wants them set on fire.
And whatever does the job quickest. And then you have this space to where you could put another,
Topgolf
pop-up beer garden.
Yeah.
I mean, and the other thing about those little cemeteries from the 1600s, you can't even read the headstones on half of them. What's the point?
This is all very, very unsettling. And it's before Game 3, Corby.
I'm going to burn you. I want you to know that.
No, you're not going to burn me because I'm not dead.
Oh.
We have potentially good news. So it was last week that all 5 North Texas area Alamo Drafthouse locations closed because the local franchise partner filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy.
Yes.
But... the rest of the Alamo Drafthouse locations in the rest of the country that weren't owned by this particular franchisee, they're still operating as normal. Well, now, it was announced today that Sony Pictures has acquired Alamo Drafthouse Cinema. So it's Not immediately clear what this means for the closed locations in North Texas, but last week a corporate spokesperson said that they hoped for a return of Alamo Drafthouse to DFW, that maybe the corporation could buy the locations out of bankruptcy from the franchisee.
So are they closed right now? When we did the story, they literally
they shut the
locked
doors.
them up. Okay.
Yeah. And so Alamo Drafthouse will continue to operate its 35 locations across 25 cities, and their headquarters will remain in Austin, and their CEO will remain Michael Kusterman. He will remain CEO of Alamo Drafthouse, and he has also been named head of Sony Pictures Experiences. So this is Sony Pictures getting into the actual cinema game. You know, they're in the production game, but they don't have the actual locations to display their work. And so their president said that Alamo Drafthouse has differentiated movie-going, and they're an admired brand, and they fit well with our vision. Our Crunchyroll business, that's their anime platform. Our Crunchyroll business also aligns with a lot of their audience interests, so we look forward to building upon the innovations that have made Alamo Drafthouse successful. So good news potentially that now there's an influx of capital, that Sony is going to want to expand the Alamo brand and get their money's worth, and perhaps they will reopen the Dallas area location.
I love it. Whatever keeps those places afloat, and, man, I feel like one of those movie theaters, whenever I'm done working, like when I'm 80.
You want to be a ticket taker?
I think I would enjoy working in a movie theater.
Oh, you're going to see the Fury Road sequel?
I would not enjoy being the waiter.
So, high school girl,
but I would like to be the guy that just kind of stands there.
Have you ever heard of Quiet Place?
I just keep promoting Quiet Place. Yeah, we've seen them all, sir.
Is he young?
You should really go to Quiet Place.
Yeah, they're not out
Lastly,
anymore, sir.
If you are going to the game tonight, Game 3 at the American Airlines Center of the NBA Finals, they are debuting new restaurant items.
Oh, what a weird time to debut.
Well, they're cranking things up for the finals.
Lobster.
So a few of the items include candied pork belly.
Candy?
Beef rib burrito.
Ooh, how about that, Bob? A burrito.
Dessert nachos. And then they also...
Well, you just glossed over something that threw me into a tizzy. Dessert nachos.
Yeah, I don't have a description of those.
I dump a little chocolate on that.
But then they also have some super expensive stuff, because you got all these high rollers that are spending tons of money for these seats. They have tons of disposable income, so maybe they would want to buy the Surf and Turf Grilled Cheese Tower for $50. It has grilled ribeye steak, Gruyere, American cheese, Fresno peppers, and poached lobster.
It's only $50?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
They also have Zavala's
But the lobster
barbecue.
are all Celtics fans.
Yeah.
Zavala's Barbecue has a stand in the AAC. They're bringing their beef rib, and so that'll be available for $45.
A lot of rib-based items.
The lobster corn dog with truffle potato chips for $40. It's they say it's a lobster tail deep fried in corny dog batter and drizzled with lemon butter and aioli.
What if these lobsters, guys, they made the trip and they were on the airplane and they were like, "Oh my God, Game 3!
Bring us to Dallas! We're going to close it out in Dallas, baby!"
They got their little brooms and everything, and they're ready to go.
Lobster broom.
They're doing their little claws sweep.
They're so close.
And also, if you
the little tour of the JR's house and everything, and
not like this in Harvard Yard.
No.
And if you're a heavy drinker like myself, perhaps you would want a commemorative cocktail tumbler with the Mavs and Finals logo on it. You can get those at several of the bars throughout the AAC. $40, not including the cocktail that goes inside of it.
What?
Yeah. That'll be another 22.
Yeah, so those of you who are complaining about summer chill prices.
Yeah, how about one drink One.
And $40 doesn't even get you the contents inside the cup.
No, not at all. All right, Dave, very good.